Listen, I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah of the seed of Abraham. I ain't no Egyptian, I ain't no Muslim, I ain't no Kabbalist, and I definitely ain't no African. Why you all up in Islam? You ain't Arab, you're a Hebrew. Man, it's getting crazy everywhere I look. I see you. Some of y'all say you Egyptian, you can't read the hieroglyphics, you don't know what they really say. That makes you religious, cuz you just believe in what you heard was right. So why you mad at me for saying I'm an Israelite? When I can read the Hebrew, I can see right through you. You want your identity, but you don't want to be who you are. You want to shine, you want to try.
Shalom to all the family checking in. Got a lot of people already checking in. Got Yasher Yan, Yah Ben Israel, Tuba Yah in the building, Water B. All about Yah in the building. Psalm 777. Sister Tannis in the building. Got my rib in the building, ready to post them scripts all about Yah. What it do, family? Charles, Yah, Israel is in the building. Don't forget about that Yah. Michael Parker. What it do, family? Aquila and Priscilla Music, my brother. What's going on? Corey Yehuda's in the building. What it do, family? That's who you are, yeah. Don't you listen to these other philosophies. They don't guarantee. Big Doc Rob on Facebook. What's up, family? Sister Colette, what's going on? My sister. You're the chosen people. We're gonna wake up and play me. Oh yeah. I know you don't believe it. So we're gonna see who's right, who's wrong. You better pay attention to this.
Shalom, everybody. Check Facebook and
that's right.
YouTube.
Come on, get it right. It's really like
LJ, what he do, family?
Let me ask you this question. Why do you feel that way and what gave you that strange impression? You ain't never seen a sign that they care about us. If we're their people, they forgot us since they never came and got us. Listen, we ain't the same. We don't act the same way. We don't got the same spirit. We don't do the same thing. Just because we got our standing common, that don't mean we common. Just because you don't receive it, that don't mean you'll stop the bombing from coming. That's why I'm trying to wake you up real quick and take your mind out that reprobate state. It's M. You say we've been here for billions of years, but can't prove it, yet we still can't cure. Oh, come on, man, that's stupid. Listen.
B. Lou, what it do?
Let go, yeah. Come on, get it right. Why you wanna be, but you're not. Oh, you made you so much better. Yeah. Come on, get it right. It's your life. You ain't no Egyptian.
All praise, honor, and great glory is unto our power. Not the power of Egypt. Not the power of Allah. But the power of Israel. The power of Abraham. The power of Isaac. And the power of our daddy Jacob. To the 12 tribes worldwide, we salute you. Our brothers and sisters that's always 10 toes down in this thing with us. Like I say, happy Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom once again to the worldwide assembly. We back to doing what we always do. And that dispensate the word of the Most High. I got a young line. One more again. In the building. And Brother T Boogie, once again, the humble pile of dirt you see sitting before you, doing what I got to do, what I've been commanded and commissioned to do, to get this word out to the folk company. With that, I'm going to let the young lion read the title of the lesson.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, family. The title of today's lesson is "Let the Other Gods Produce Their Cause Against the True Power." Kemet Egyptology.
Yeah. So in trying to edify our brothers and sisters, we got a beloved sister up in Colorado, her and her family, Sister Francesca Ford. Say she's been dealing with a lot of Egyptologists and whatnot. Want us to do a little something on that. I must confess I was at a little disadvantage because as I started to get back into this thing and start doing my studying, I really didn't know which way to attack this, because when you get into Egyptology and Kemet, there are several different factions or levels of how they want to call. Some people call themselves Egyptologists. There are different factions there. Some people call themselves Kemetic. There's different factions there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attack some of the main things that they all say. And then if anybody wants to reply back or see what's going on with that, then if I need to go a different direction or we need to go a different direction, then we'll attack it how we need to attack it. But just going to try to get at some of the stuff they always say, because they say, the Bible is plagiarized from the meta-netta, the 42 negative confession. They say that's one of the main things they always say. Then they want to say that Egypt was the first organized civilization way before the Hebrews came on the scene. That's what they always say. So what we're going to do, we're going to attack those two things. We're going to be doing some history. We got a PowerPoint we're going to be presenting before y'all. You know what I'm saying? Then we're going to get into the scriptures as well to prove out, or let the history prove out the scriptures. However you want to look at it, however you want to say it. Because we know that the other gods ain't got no prophecies. Right. We know that they can't tell you the end from the beginning or the beginning from the end. We know that. So at the end of this thing, like the title lesson say, we're going to read the scripture. Let them produce their call. And we're going to show a one little clip slide. I don't want to get too deep into it on their side until I know who I'm dealing with or who she dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But they got two gods they call Geb and Nut. That were incestuous brother and sister gods. Yeah. I don't read that in no Bible nowhere.
That's how I think history.
Yeah. And then, but the one thing, the brother got the phallus pointed at his own mouth. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't see that in the Bible.
Yeah.
Now, and everybody, even the heathen, you hear me? Yeah. The heathen the earth is always considered the mother. Mm-hmm. Not in Egyptology and Kemet. The man is considered the mother. Maybe that's why he got the phallus pointed at his mouth, so the seed can go in him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, right off the bat, we dispelling myths. But we're gonna get into this thing. So, and quick shout out to the educated one, the Hebrew brother Zion Lex, reaching out and whatnot, and showing me some updated information. Because in the conscious community, we always talk about updating information. Well, it's some stuff that came out over the last 5 or 6 years, bro, that killed that Egypt was around before the Hebrews. Some stuff that came out. We finna get into it. We finna get into for updating this information. And I thank that brother, you know what I'm saying, for his due diligence in this subject of Sumer or Sumeria. All right, we're gonna get into that. So let's get it right into it, bro. Let's get it right into it. We go on to which came first. Who came first? Okay. So we finna find out who came first. So let's go to Genesis. And we're gonna go to the 11th chapter. Genesis, the 11th chapter. Genesis, the 11th chapter. And we're gonna pick it up at verse 21. Because we're gonna find out the region that our daddy Abraham, our eponymous ancestor, where he hailed from. And that's gonna set the scene for some of this history that we're gonna get in. But Genesis, the 11th chapter, we're gonna pick it up at the 21. We're gonna run a little lineage down first. When you get it, go ahead and read it.
Now these are the generations of Terah.
Mm-hmm.
Terah begat Abraham.
Started at 21. I don't know if I changed it on your paper.
All right.
Because I want to get this, because we're going to be reading something in Jubilees. Going to run this back.
Okay.
Read it at 21. That's my I should have switched it on your paper too. I switched around. Go ahead and read that 21 down through 31.
And Ru lived after he begat Sarah 207 years and begot sons and daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Serug lived 30 years and begot Nahor.
That's right.
Serug lived after he begot Nahor 200 years and begot sons and daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And Nahor lived 9 and 20 years
Mm-hmm.
and begot Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters.
Uh-huh.
And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram.
And begot who?
Abram.
So he begot Abram. Now, I want you to understand something. Another thing, the reason why we're running this down, because a lot of these ancestors of one another overlap each other in their living and in their generations. And we're going to prove that through the reading of the scripture, but go ahead and read. Middle of 27.
Okay, and now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot.
Uh-huh.
And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity.
Right.
In Ur of the Chaldees.
Right. And where?
In Ur of the Chaldees.
All right, now we're going to stop there and get it. We're going to stop there, family, and we're going to get a, I want to make sure we get this Chaldees, because a lot of people won't say, well, see them white folk. All right, now we're going to get who the Chaldees are. A screen here, y'all. Make sure my screen is sharing here. And
see, they would have to pick it up in the middle of the scripts to hold on to their argument.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm with you, bro. I promise you I'm with you. I want to pick this up right here. Can y'all see my screen? My screen ain't sharing over here. Not yet, anyway. Let me go back over here and make sure I'm doing it right. I got share. I got it on. And I want to share this screen. And what we're going to do, we're going to go, oh, yes, it's starting a little slow. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop down to verse 28. Okay, family? And we're going to get this Ur of the Chaldees. All right? Now, the word we want to hone in on, because a lot of people want to say that this was the Gentile nation, they call Babylon Chaldees. Right. They talking about Nebuchadnezzar's Babylon. They said they're Chaldees. But we're going to get the true word right here, what it's saying. Mm-hmm. All right, now check this out. And the word Chaldees is H3778. Look what it says. I'm going to play for you. We're going to get into it.
Strong's H3778. Kasdim.
Kasdim. So it's not pronounced Chaldees. So let's look at what he's saying. Now, brother, can you see that? I can read. I can read.
It's slow on my
screen. It's slow on your screen. So Kasdim or Kasdim is Chaldees or Chaldees. They're called clod breakers, which is very important because the first farmers, we're going to find out, were Sumerian. They hail from this region called the Kasdim. Okay? Now we're going to look into the outline of biblical usage. This is what I want to get to. A territory in lower Mesopotamia, bordering on the Persian Gulf. Okay? It says inhabitants of Chaldea living on the lower Euphrates and Tigris. Those persons considered the wisest in the land by extension. Now, I only know one lineage that came from Adam all the way down that's considered the ones who had the knowledge of the Most High.
See, that ain't describing the Babylonian Chaldees.
No, it's not.
That ain't describing them.
Exactly. They say, so by extension, the persons considered the wisest in the land. So it only makes sense that the people that was wise in the land was the one that came up with the wheel, came up with how to write, the first writings, the first temples. Matter of fact, when we get into this book called The History Begins at Sumer, 39 first, from Sumer, where our Pontiff's father, Abraham, hails from.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then who the wisest in the land today? Who done created everything?
Come on now.
You can just start in this generation and run it back.
And run it back.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. Then it said Kasdim towards Kasdites into Chaldea, patriotically from only in the pure a Kasdite or a descendant. Now I want y'all to pay attention to this. Y'all see that word, a descendant of Kasdim. By implication, a Chaldean as if so descended. Because we're going to read something in the Jubilee that's going to bring this all home. I want y'all to pay attention to that. Also, astrologer, as a proverbial that people, Chaldeans, Chaldees, inhabitants of Chaldea. All right, you got something to say, bro?
I was gonna say you can see in the book of Jasher it refers to the Chaldees is a word just like that.
That's where we going.
Okay. I'll pray.
That's where we going.
Yeah.
We going in Jasher too.
Yeah.
So that Chaldean, we gonna bring that on home. All right. So I just want to bring that up. Now, family, y'all gonna have to forgive me because I forgot to put this in the PowerPoint. But here's a book right here, and I hope y'all can see it. Let me get it close to the camera. These are the essential writings of Josephus. All right. Now, this is history. These are essential writings of Josephus, and I always like to cite my sources because one thing the brother he impressed upon me, which I kind of missed out on this one. He said, "Man, is always cite your sources because you don't want people always think you just grabbing stuff off the internet."
Right.
He said, "Man, cite your sources, man, and that'll make everything a little bit more." I said, "Man, all praise, I appreciate that, bro." So this was the essential writings of Josephus, the new translation by Paul L. Murray, and we're gonna read pages 22 and 23. I'm gonna get the young group to read it, and forgive me again, family. I forgot to take a picture of the pages and put them up on the thing. But hey, even the historian, look who he detailing out. Yeah, the highlighted part, just the highlighted part.
Okay.
You gonna jump here, then jump over here. Yeah, skip these,
okay,
and then jump over here. I'm sorry, family. Y'all just bear with me.
All right, Shem. This is again the Josephus, the essential works, the essential writings, and this is page 22. The Tower of Babel.
Right.
Shem, Japheth, and Ham, the three sons of Noah who had been born a century before the deluge or the flood, became the first to descend from the mountains to the plain.
Go ahead, brother.
Setting an example for others who stayed in the heights for fear of the flood.
Right.
They settled on the plain of Shinar and grew so numerous that God counseled them to send out colonies. In their disobedience, they imagined that God was trying to divide them and make them vulnerable to attack. So they followed Nimrod, the grandson of Ham, who set up, well, I thought that said tyranny. That's tyranny.
Tyranny, yeah.
I'm about to say, what?
Yeah.
And began building a tower higher than any other could reach in case God never ever wanted to flood the earth again. It says from then on, the people were dispersed in colonies everywhere.
Everywhere, right? Okay, now go ahead and read.
And God led them so that every continent was occupied. And
Stop. How many continents was occupied?
Every continent.
Now I want y'all to remember that because in a couple of weeks we're gonna deal with this thing about the Americas and having people of color, melanated people, you hear me, on this continent even before slavery. We're gonna do some deep dive in the next couple of weeks. But go ahead and read.
It says, and some crossed the sea in ships and settled on the islands. Japheth, son of Noah, had 7 sons who settled the territory between the river Tanais, the Don, and across Europe to Gadira. Cadiz. The children of Ham held the territory from Syria and Lebanon through Judea to Africa and the lands along the sea, the Mediterranean. A curse fell on the children of Canaan, son of Ham, because Ham had once mocked his father Noah when he lay nude in a drunken slumber. Noah's son Shem had 5 sons who settled Asia as far as the Indian Ocean, starting at the Euphrates. His great-great-grandson Heber. Heber.
Go ahead.
Or Eber is reading script. After whom the Jews were originally called Hebrews.
So that's where you get your name Hebrew from your forefather Eber, who called, or Ebri, where we get the name Hebrew from. But go ahead and read, my brother.
In turn, Heber's great-great-grandson was Terah.
Was who?
Terah.
So that's Abram's father, correct? Go ahead and read, my brother.
A shepherd living in Chaldea, who at 70 years of age became the father of Abraham.
Became the who?
The father of Abraham.
So he became the father of Abraham, but I want to go back to that and read something real quick because I was doing some of the things. it said that Terah was a shepherd, correct?
Yeah.
Now remember shepherd for the later on in the lesson, because we know throughout history, when you go do your history and whatnot, that most of the world was considered what they call hunter-gatherers. The first farmers and the first shepherds were Sumerian. Okay, so Egyptology, they were not the first shepherds. And another thing we want to show you at the end of the lesson is that flail and that crook that you see the pharaohs holding, we're going to show you where they got that from, because those are tools of a shepherd, that flail and that crook.
Right.
So we're going to show you where they got that from. But I want to share this screen on this real quick. And TJ, you may have to help me, because this is a PowerPoint. I'm trying to share my whole screen and share screen here. And then I don't know if the people can see that. Can you see it on your screen? You can't see it.
It's a delay, so I got.
Hey, somebody let me know if they can see this PowerPoint on their screen.
Go back to the screen. You should be able to see.
Yeah, it's up there. I just took it back down. See if I do it like that. Hold on. I got share screen on there. See, share it. Let me hit it.
No, it ain't showing up.
All right, hold on. Let me do this then. Application window, entire screen. I'm gonna go here. Can y'all see that? Can anybody see the PowerPoint titled Kemet Egyptology? Can y'all see my screen?
Go to the string.
Let's
see. Click on
application window, Chrome tab.
See what application window says.
Can y'all see that?
What P, bro? How you share the
PowerPoint?
The PowerPoint here, bro. He said tap the screen share window.
All right. I hit the screen share window. Let me minimize it.
Man, what it be knowing how to work?
Okay, hit the screen share. Entire screen. Hit the share. Oh, I see it down there. There it is right there. That's it right there. Oh, okay. Share that. That's what I want to share. And then now hit the PowerPoint. Can y'all see that?
Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's what I want. Appreciate it.
What I told you. What did you know?
What's up? Thank you, Warren. So what I want y'all, I want to read these PowerPoint slides first, y'all, and then we're gonna get into the things. I want to show y'all about the Ur Chaldean. Then we're gonna read this because I want to do this at the beginning. So we're gonna go with Kemet.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna read that. Let me put it on the full slide so you can read, bro. Yeah, we're gonna be in the last 2 million years next. But I want to read this before we get in the last 2 million years.
Okay.
We're gonna be on this PowerPoint for a minute while you read. All right. So read that Kemet Egyptology slide right there, bro. It
says Egyptology. That's the right slide.
Yeah, that's right, bro.
Egyptology is the study of ancient Egyptian history, language, literature, religion, architecture, and art from the 5th millennium BC until the end of its native religious practices in 4th century AD. A practitioner of the discipline is an Egyptologist.
Okay, now look what it takes to be. Here go the requirements for Egyptologist. So that's why I got to know who I'm dealing with. Okay, right. Now what does it say to be required to be an Egyptologist?
Requirements for becoming an Egyptologist: bachelor's degree in
anthropology.
Anthropology, y'all, that is probably one of the most boring courses you could ever take. But anyway, archaeology or Egyptian history is the first step in becoming an Egyptologist. Master's degree. A graduate degree is a requirement to work as a modern Egyptologist.
As a what?
A modern.
See, they got several different levels in this thing. Go ahead and read.
PhD.
Uh-huh.
Post doctoral fellowship, most recent PhD.
Okay, so now that's Egyptology.
Right.
Now we're gonna look at Kemet. All right, so we're gonna go to the next slide, which is Kemet. Go ahead and read. Kemetism. Oh, your screen ain't popping on. That's
Yeah,
why you got a
it's
delay.
like a 5-second delay.
We go on to the next screen, family. Give us a second because it's got a little delay on his end. Yeah, I can read from here. I'll read this because it got a little delay. All right, the next slide is Kemetism. Also, you got it? Go ahead.
Kemetism, also Kemeticism, both from Egyptian. What's that short for Kemet?
Kemet, yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
usually vowel Kemet.
So you got to understand the Kemetic language is almost synonymous with the Hebrew language. Really, there are no vowels until you start getting to different dialects. So, but go ahead and read.
The native name of ancient Egypt.
So it wasn't Mizraim. Go ahead and read.
And also sometimes referred to as Neterism. Or Egyptian neo-paganism. Is a revival of ancient Egyptian religion. And related expressions of religion in classical and late antiquity. Emerging during the 1970s.
So this is fairly new then. It's not an ancient deal.
Right.
They study in ancient ways, but it just came about in 1970.
Yeah.
So now which one came first, the chicken or the egg? I got to ask the question. Go ahead and read.
A Kemetic is one who follows Kemeticism. These are several main groups. There are several main groups, each of which takes a different approach to their beliefs, ranging from eclectic to reconstructionist. However, all of these can be identified as belonging to three strands, including reconstructed Kemeticism,
right,
adopting a theological and scholarly approach, a syncretic approach, and a more novel synthesis tending towards monotheism, Kemetic orthodoxy.
So, so we got to know who we dealing with. So, since we don't know who we dealing with, okay, family. So what we gonna do is we just gonna deal with the high points until we figure out.
So they come out the shadows.
Till they come out the shadows, and we figure out who we dealing with.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna stop the screen share for a minute. Now we gonna get into the last 2 million years. Let me hold this up for the people. This is a history book, and we've had this history book for a while, ain't brother? Man, guess what? I didn't know stuff in Sumer was in here.
Oh yeah, the early civilization.
Yeah. And when I got to doing this, and I got to looking around, I said, man, I got to look in my book. I just said, yeah. And then we had this book for a minute, y'all. So everybody, it ain't just coming around 1970. But a lot of the information about Sumer just now coming out. But they've been writing about Sumer as the first civilization.
Yeah.
Now, Sumer, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint because I want to show you people this book. We're going to go back to the PowerPoint, and we're going to show you where Sumer was. Because they said our father hailed from where? Ur the Chaldees, or the Kasdim, right? Yeah. Because, see, Sumer is an Akkadian term. Acadia was in the northern part of Mesopotamia. And Mesopotamia only means the region between two rivers. You had the Tigris River and Euphrates, and that was a Greek term, Mesopotamia, but it was mainly known as Sumer. But Sumer is an Akkadian term because the people of Lower Sumer, you know what they call themselves? Sagiga, the blackheads. They call themselves Sagiga, the blackheads.
They hate black skin.
Okay, so now we finna get into this, and before the brothers start reading, I'm gonna get my PowerPoint back a bit because we got to get into this real good. So we're gonna share the screen, going back to him, going right to there. We're going back to the PowerPoint, and we're gonna get them in the scripture, but we got to get this history down, and then we're gonna let it fly. All right. History begins at Sumer. All right. Now, understanding Mesopotamia, home of the Chaldees, Kasdim, the land of the wise. These are the wisest people, considered the wisest people on the planet. I think you right there. Yeah, you right there. I'm finna put it on the screen. All right, now before we get into that, we're gonna read, the brother just read about the archaeology and anthropology, right?
Right.
So we're gonna read about the archaeology and anthropology. We're not gonna get into a lot of the syntax and linguistics of the language. We may do a little bit of that. We're gonna do a little bit of that when we get into their writings, but we're gonna check it out though. So anthropology. Anthropology is the scientific study of humans, human behavior, and societies in the past and present. Social anthropological studies patterns of behavior, but keep that in mind, patterns of behavior, and cultural anthropology studies cultural meaning, including norms and values, linguistics. Now, linguistics is very important as well. Anthropology studies how language influences social life. Archaeology is a scientific study of historic or prehistoric peoples and their cultures by analysis of their artifacts, inscriptions, monuments. And keep that in mind about the monuments, because a lot of people want to say the first pyramids was built in Egypt. That's what they always say. We're going to prove that to be a lie too. I'm going to prove that to be a lie too. Monuments and other such remains, especially those that have been excavated. Geography is the study of the physical features of the earth and its atmosphere and of human activity as it affects and is affected by these, including the distribution of populations, resources, land use, and energy. That's very important because the first civilization, they say, started in Egypt. Now, we finna show that's a lie too. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, go ahead and read, bro.
Okay.
Start.
This is the last 2 million years.
Let me get down there where you at. Hold on. Let me get down there where you at. Because we're going to come back to some of these slides. All right, go ahead.
The last 2 million years.
Dawn of a civilization.
Dawn of a civilization. This is page 50.
Yep.
In Mesopotamia, this is the subtitle we're going to read. In Mesopotamia, the date is from 3500 to 539.
Now that's key. Yeah. 3500.
Yeah.
Now we getting into the archaeological, right? Mm-hmm. 3500. Keep that in mind, because guess what? We're going to find out later on. The first pharaonic civilization in Egypt didn't start till the 2100. So now we got a problem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
These people before this great civilization.
Yeah, that. And we got a picture right there, and we're going to get into that. You see this top of this right here, this palace right here? Mm-hmm. This right here, people. Y'all look at the top of this palace. We're going to get into that later on. They got some great meaning too. Yeah. We're digging today.
But see, it all makes sense if our power predates everything.
That one, but see,
you think he ain't going to make his people the first ones to do this and that?
But see, this and the brother, he was so eloquent when he said, brother, we know the scriptures is real. They gonna take the scriptures off the table. You gotta be able to prove what your stand without this. Yeah. And so we going a long way around. And we gonna disprove that book through archaeology, anthropology, geography, and history. We're going to take their stuff, clean off the table. Then we're going to bust them between the eyes with these scriptures. Go ahead and read.
All right. In Mesopotamia, 5,000 years ago, men combined their skills to set up an organized state.
5,000 years ago. Go ahead and read. Organized what?
State.
So this was civilization now. Dawn of civilization in the land of two rivers. That's the title of the thing, man.
I mean, but just off that, who's always used their own expertise to set up?
Exactly.
The white man has
never
stolen everything he's done.
Thank you. But we deal with the Hamite this time. Because the Hamite is the one who think they Hamite, right. Think they started up everything. Yeah. So we're going to we already know that the heathen ain't did nothing. We're going to take the Hamite heathen off the table too. Yeah. So, see, we don't leave over here in the order of Melchizedek, we leave no stone unturned. But go ahead and read.
It says, where writing was invented.
Well, what was invented?
Writing was invented.
And we're going to show y'all the first writing, how it was done. But go ahead and read.
And the world's first cities were built.
And the world's first what?
Cities.
So that took Ham clean off the table. Mitzrayim, Kemet, you off the table.
This ain't even nothing. This just a subtitle.
It's just subtitle. Y'all off the table. We ain't got to the text. Y'all off the table, man.
You off the table in the sub.
So, Sister Francesca Ford and your family, just go get you a lad 2 million years book. You can buy it at Amazon anyway and take it off the table. But we ain't never about done. We gonna drive it. We gonna beat the blood out this one. Go ahead and read.
It said, between the rivers Tigris and Euphrates lies a broad, fertile valley that has a better claim than anywhere else on earth to be regarded as the birthplace of civilization.
Right.
In the southern part of this long valley, an energetic and inventive people known as the Sumerians began to build the world's first cities more than 5,000 years ago. They invented a system of writing and discovered bronze.
They did what?
Discovered
so
bronze.
This is the start of the Bronze Age. So when you talk about the Bronze Age, you cannot talk about the Bronze Age without talking about Sumeria or Sumer. And who we gonna show you who was in Sumer. We already told you where Abraham hailed from. We ran down the lineage, didn't we?
Right.
We're gonna go back in this PowerPoint. I'm gonna bring it back, but go ahead and read.
Okay. It says they invented the system of writing and discovered bronze. And they are the first people known to have used wheel vehicles.
Do what?
Wheel vehicles.
So who invented the wheel?
I'm saying, who has this type of intelligence?
Who?
So Horace came down and told him this.
Yeah, no, hey, you can't stop. Go ahead, all right.
With the newfound strength of large-scale organization and the precious waters of the two rivers to fight over,
come on now.
the Sumerians also waged the world's first wars. As distinct from tribal skirmishes.
Right.
The area settled by Sumerians was known to the Greeks as Mesopotamia.
That's right.
The land between two rivers. This name came later to apply to the entire length of the valley, which was in later centuries the home also of the Akkadians. Now
we can go in there and read in Genesis 10 where Nimrod took over Akkad. We can go read that. So Nimrod took over in the end before after Sargon, he took over Arcadia, which was Mesopotamia. So we can go in the scripture and prove that too. But go ahead and read.
The Babylonians and the Assyrians. Though these people came as conquerors, they absorbed much of the civilization.
That's right.
Of their predecessors and added to it their own architecture.
Go ahead, brother.
Their own sculpture and their own skill in astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. The Mesopotamian people survived for more than 3,000 years until the conquest of Babylon by the Persians.
Now these are the Gentile. This is Gentile Babylon dynasty now that came along, because we know that Nimrod was head of the first Babylonian dynasty, and they were Hamites. So we know this is the Gentile right here. But go ahead and read.
It says, and pay attention to this date. That's how you know.
Until
the conquest of Babylon by the Persians in 539 BC.
That's right.
Made Mesopotamia part of an even wider empire. Even today, the marsh Arabs of the Euphrates Delta live in reed houses, little altered in style since the ancient times.
So I want you to stop you right there. Now, a lot of people going to say, see, the marsh Arabs, they are the ancient Sumerians. No, they're not. Just like Saddam Hussein and all those boys in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait are not native to that land, they came in and took over that land after these conquests.
Right.
A Sumerian, all them Arabs could not be considered Sagiga, the Black Eads. No way.
Yeah.
But go ahead and read.
It says the Tigris and Euphrates pursue a meandering course from northwest to southeast across modern Iraq to the Persian Gulf. The country on either side of their broad valley is today a vast desert, but before the glaciers retreated at the end of the last ice age.
How long ago?
Some 10,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The valley was bordered by grassland supporting grazing animals and the nomadic hunters who followed the herd.
Mm-hmm.
As the ice caps retreated, the climate gradually became
Now, read. Give us in the highlight. Read.
All right. Men moved with their animals towards the two rivers, which, with few desert oases, were the only remaining sources of water.
Right.
Next, the nomads learned to sow cereals. Wheat and barley developed from wild grass.
So this is farming starting to take place now. So they stopped being hunter-gatherers. They starting to farm. But go ahead and read.
In the mud beside the river, dams and irrigation.
Right.
Canals had to be dug to conserve and carry the water. This required cooperative effort. By about 5800 BC, the nomads had begun to form settlements along the lower Tigris and Euphrates.
Between the where? The Lord.
Tigris, yeah.
It said the Lord, though. We're going to see where the Lord is now. We're going to see where the Lord is. Go ahead and read.
Building mud huts to protect themselves from the winter storm.
Skip down to that second read right there.
People originating probably from Central Asia.
From where?
Central Asia.
So they Asiatic.
Right. Yeah, we read it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Shem.
That's right.
That's where they
hail from. Them. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna ahead and read. They Asiatic people. Go ahead.
Have become the dominant settlers throughout Mesopotamia by 4000 BC.
By when?
4000 BC.
So we right along that 3500 where everything been start kicking off, ain't it?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So where Egypt been on the scene yet? They still running around with loincloths on, butt naked, chasing out the goats and stuff, ain't right?
Right. Performing gay rituals.
Yeah, performing gay rituals. Yeah. Buttocks burgers. Go ahead and read.
It says these early Sumerians, as well as being skilled farmers.
Oh, so we read in that book right there about Josephus. They were shepherds. Didn't it say Sarah was shepherd and all that? So we got history there now.
Divine power.
They can farm, a husband, shepherd. Yep. Where you get all that from? You get that out of the Bible, don't you? Yep. We're going to keep on reading. We're going to lay this thing rest tonight. Go ahead and do it, bro.
It says use tools of stone and flint, build large temples.
Build what?
Large temples.
Oh, in 3500 BC, they were building large temples. And we're going to show you that Egypt stole that. I'm going to show it to you today. Yeah. Go ahead and read.
It says it made pottery with black decoration. By about 3500 BC, the foundations for civilized life had already been laid along the Mesopotamian River Valley.
Oh, okay. So now I want to go, hold on, I'm going to get out of this for a second. Let me go back up, and I want to show y'all something. So I want to first go back. They said they were from Asia. Then we read that, my brother. All right, now watch this. We're going to read this PowerPoint right here. Now, they were from Shem, right? No, I ain't going to read that. I was going to read, but I ain't going to read. Now, read that was on the screen. When your screen pop up, I'm flipping through because your screen's going to pop up right now in a few minutes. Because they said they were Asiatic and they were from Shem. We read that in the scriptures. Then we read it in history, right? Now, look at what this says.
It says Semitic, relating to or denoting a family of languages that include Hebrew, Arabic, the Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian.
Wait a minute, we read about Akkadian, eh? Look at all this stuff tied together.
Right.
Look like it's all meaning the same thing. Now we read scriptures, we read history from different sources, we cite different sources of history. We looking at all this. Go ahead and continue to read.
It says constructing the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic
family. How many Gentiles got Afro?
Right.
So you gotta have the features of an Afro type person and be from Asia. Afro-Asiatic. We killing a whole lot of stuff today. Now, them headlights, they like to keep headdresses all on their head. And keep their head bald, didn't
right. And more the corners of they.
That's right.
They birds. They
faces. This is an Afro-Asiatic family.
Yeah.
We gonna get to it. Go ahead and read.
Relating to the peoples who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic.
Especially Hebrew and Arabic. Now it did mention the Aramaic because that's what we mainly speak over there in the land now, Aramaic.
Right.
But Abraham was one of the sons of Shem too. We're gonna prove that. Continue to read, my brother.
Afro-Asiatic languages, formerly called Hamido-Semitic,
Uh-huh.
are spoken by more than 400 million people living in northern Africa.
Living where?
Northern Africa.
Oh, that's the Horn of Africa, the Fertile Crescent. And reason why I'm bringing it up, we finna show you something. The Fertile Crescent, the Horn of Africa. Go ahead and read.
And in Southwest Asia.
In Southwest Asia. All right, let's go to the next slide. Now I want to show y'all this. Look at this slide right here, brothers and sisters. Now, this is the Semitic speaking people in the green. Now, here's the Horn of Africa at the top. Look who over there in the top of the Horn of Africa. Our buddy Egypt right there. Then you got all the way over here. Now, I want you to pay close attention to this. Do y'all see on that map where it says Kuwait? Y'all see that, right? But look, everything in the green is a Semitic speaking people, descendants of Shem. All right? But over here, I want y'all to pay attention to Kuwait, where it says Kuwait over here on y'all's map, because I want to show y'all something. Look at right here where Kuwait is, and look what the ancient city is where Kuwait was. It says Here are your two rivers. You got the Euphrates on the left, and you got the Tigris on the right. This is your ancient Mesopotamia. This is old Kemet way over here. Old Kadim over here. There's Memphis, Giza, Heliopolis. But over here is where civilization started. And you see right where Kuwait and Iraq meet, there was the city of Ur of the Chaldees, or the city of the wise ones. The ones who started to create everything and make everything. All right. Now we're going to go to the next slide. Well, we're going to get out the slide for a minute. And we're going to go to the history begins at Sumer. No, we need to stay in the slide. We need to stay in the slide. I'm sorry. We need to stay in the slide. Let me go back. Let me get down here where I need to get to. This is the book we're going to, family. We're going to this book right here. And this is the book we're going to. It's called History Begins at Sumer. 39 first in recorded history. 39 first things started in Sumer. 39, brother. And as you can see on the front of this book, and this is in a museum, in the Metropolitan Museum in Cairo. You see that right there? You know the name of that statue is? Now, this is before Abraham. You know the name of that statue is? Ram in the thicket. So they say, well, they stole it from Sumer. It was their stories anyway. What you saying? This thing is called Ram in the thicket. I remember a story in the Bible said there was a ram caught in the bush when Abraham finna sacrifice his son. So these things was already being prophesied even before Abraham was on the scene. But let's go on to this book, and we're gonna read just a few excerpts out of this book. But I want to go back. I want to go back to this right here before we get into this book. Now, this book was written by by a man named Samuel Noah Kramer. He is the foremost leading expert on Sumer. There's another sister. Her name is Candace Awalalu. She just passed it recently, the brother was telling me. Catherine Awalalu. And she just passed, but she's another one of the top people on top of Sumer, in history of Sumer. And he said that 39 things came out of Sumer before they came out of anywhere. This is a heathen named Samuel Noah Kramer, and he's got the most extensive research in Sumer. But we're only going to read a few things from him. We're going to pick it up, bro. We're going to pick it up at the page 51. And again, the name of the book is The History of Sumer. And we're going to get into the law, because they say that the commandments, bro, was taken from the 42 negative confessions. Right. And then when you destroy that, they say, well, Hammurabi, who's a Babylonian, y'all stole y'all commandments from him. But we've been roll this commandment thing. But go ahead and read.
The whole thing.
Now look, everything that's in the highlight. Everything we're on page 52, right? 51. Okay, go ahead and read.
It says the Lipid Ishtar Code, as it is now generally called, is inscribed not on a steel but on a sun-baked clay tablet.
On a what kind of sun-baked? A sun-baked clay tablet. We're gonna get into that too. Go ahead and read.
It is written in the cuneiform script.
Cuneiform. No, go ahead and read.
But in the non-Semitic Sumerian language,
Uh-huh.
the tablet was excavated shortly after the turn of the century,
Mm-hmm.
but for various reasons had remained unidentified and unpublished.
Right.
Is reconstructed and translated with my help by Francis Steele, formerly assistant curator in the University Museum.
Mm-hmm.
It is seen to contain a prologue, epilogue, and an unknown number of laws,
In an unknown number of laws, go ahead and read.
of which 37 are preserved wholly or in part.
Mm-hmm.
But Lipid Ishtar's claim to fame as the world's first lawgiver.
Now, Lipid Ishtar is a Egyptian or Kemetic sage or whatever you want to call it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He said he claimed that he did the stuff first. Right. But go ahead and read.
In 1948, Tahar Bakir, the curator of the Iraq Museum in Baghdad.
In where?
In Baghdad.
Now, Baghdad is part of ancient Mesopotamia.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and read.
Was digging in an obscure mound called Homal, and he announced the discovery of two tablets inscribed with an older law code. Like the Hammurabi Code, these tablets were written in the Semitic Babylonian language.
Uh-huh.
They were studied and copied that very year by the well-known Yale cuneiformist Albert Chet
Getz. That's how you pronounce that, Getz.
Uh-huh.
So it was some more tablets found older than Hammurabi and Ishtar in Sumeria. Go ahead and read, brother.
In the brief prologue that precedes the laws, there is no epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
A king by the name of Balalama is mentioned. He may have lived some 70 years before Lipid Ishtar.
Mm-hmm.
It is this Semitic Balalama code, therefore, which seemed to be entitled to priority honors until 1952.
Go ahead, brother.
When I was privileged to copy and translate a tablet inscribed with part of a law code promulgated by a Sumerian king named
Ur-Nammu. Uh-huh.
This ruler who founded the now well-known third dynasty of Ur.
Of who?
Ur.
So the oldest commandments found other than, because we know the commandment that was given to Moses, but we're going to find out there was a law in the world before that anyway. Right. But the oldest recorded set of laws came out of Ur. I wonder why. I wonder why they found them in Ur of the Chaldeans. Go ahead and read.
It says, this ruler who founded the well-known third dynasty of Ur began his reign, even according to the Lord's chronological estimate, about 2050 BC.
Go ahead, brother.
Some 300 years before the Babylonian king Hammurabi.
So this is before Hammurabi. Go ahead and read.
The Ur-Nammu tablet is one of the hundreds of Sumerian literary tablets in the collection of the Museum of the Ancient Orient in Istanbul, where I spent the year 1951 through 52 as Fulbright research professor. Okay, now we're going to get into this. I'm going to come back to this, but I want to get into this right here. Now, they said the earliest writings, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the earliest form of writing is called Sumerian cylinder seals. This was the first thing or the first type of communication, and it was mainly used for business deals. Now, we read about the clay tablets, right? Mm-hmm. So what they would do, these cylinder seals right here, brothers and sisters, okay, they would take wet clay tablets with these inscribed cylinder seals, just like a king seal, and roll that cylinder seal over a wet clay tablet, and they would lay it out in the sun for a record. This was the first type of record. Now, we just read about the cuneiform, and I'm citing my source right there by Joshua J. Mark, who published this. He's a professor of philosophy at Marxist College. Okay. All right, I'm citing, I'm doing my site. Now,
Cuneiform, the development of writing. We read about the 3500 BC. Now here's Egypt, just with the hieroglyphs. It's below the 3500 BC, man. The cuneiform is right there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So Mesopotamian cuneiform was there before. So how in the world did they write? They steal their code, Ishtar codes, or the 42 negative confessions from Egypt when they were already writing laws, and they came up with the actual writing.
And then this is the thing. Can't none of them Negroes translate no hieroglyphs.
That's enough. I won't get to that. Y'all can't translate no hieroglyphs.
Right. So
Now,
how you know what they saying?
Now, my beloved brother up in New York, he know how to read hieroglyphs. He know how to read cuneiform. He know how to do all that.
But why though?
Because he is reading.
Get it what I'm saying?
Because he is reading. And so my thing with them, like I told the brother, I said, man, they ain't got a leg to stand on history or the script.
So no. And then a Google search. This is getting below the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just want to do surface level, just type in Google who created Egyptology. Some
white boy
gonna pop up.
But see, that's what I'm saying. They gonna go back to where we Kemetics and we study the spiritual side of it. That's why we gotta hit them on all. We can't leave them no outs.
And see that's getting tore up.
Yeah, we tearing it up now. So here go cuneiform. I got on y'all screen. It says a system of writing first developed by the ancient Sumerians of Mesopotamia, 3500 to 3000 BCE. It is considered the most significant among many cultural contributions of the Sumerians and the greatest among the Sumerian city of Uruk, which advanced the writing of cuneiform in 3200 BCE. Now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back up here. Now, we're going to go back to this right here. Now, look at this. Here go another site. This is ancienthistorylist.com, top 11 inventions, discoveries of Mesopotamia. And we ain't going to read all that about the irrigation and all that. We're going to look at agriculture and irrigation. The first form of writing, cuneiform. These are different sources saying the same thing. Urban civilization, mathematics, map, astronomy, astrology, time. You want to know where you got your 60-minute clock from? Your 60-second clock? Guess where it started at? It started in Sumeria, Mesopotamia. They developed the concept of time, dividing time units into 60 parts, which eventually led to 60-second minutes and 60-minute hours. The Babylonians made an astronomical calculation in the base of 60 system inherited from the Sumerians. The number 60 was chosen because it was easily divisible by 6. The plow. So if they invented the plow, evidently they started farming.
Right.
They invented the plow, the sailboat. Oh, so now we know who the first sailors were.
Then when you read Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, it's either Zebulon or Naphtali.
I think it was Zebulon.
One of them, they say I was the first to set a boat on sail the sea.
Mm-hmm. So we know where that came from.
So you trace his lineage.
Where he come from?
That's what I'm saying.
Where he come from? You know what I'm saying? The chariot, the wheel. These are just some of the things that these brothers came up with. Let me go back down here. Now that's all we're going to. I'm gonna stop the screen share for right now because we finna get back into the script.
Yeah.
We're going to get back into the script, then we're going to come back to this law thing in a minute. You hear me? Mm-hmm. We're going to come back to the law thing. All right. Now, let's go to Jubilees. That's in volume 2 of the Pseudepigrapha, brothers and sisters. You got it? Okay, yeah, you got it. Volume 2 of the Pseudepigrapha. And we go on to page 78. Page 78. Page 78, we're going to read something here. Then we're going to get back to the PowerPoint. Because I got to show you something, but we're going to read it first. We're going to read it first. See, we ain't leaving nobody know. You ain't going to have no excuse. If you continue to follow after these false gods and want to go off the... See, now you got to present your cause. Mm-hmm. See, y'all used to have a leg to stand on, but y'all ain't got no leg to stand on no more. And I'm going to say this again. We ain't shooting all our bullets. We ain't shooting all our bullets today. So whatever y'all come back with, I just need to know what y'all gonna come with. So page 78, brother, we're gonna read chapter 11, verses 1 through 8. What I'm trying to say. chapter 11, verses 1 through 8. When you get it, go ahead and read.
All right. The birth of Sarug marks the rise of war and other evil.
Now, we read that back. We read about Sarug back in Genesis the 11th. But go ahead and read. The first war, we talked about the first war. We read about that too, right? Go ahead and read, brother.
And in the 35th Jubilee, in the third week, in the first year thereof, Ruth took a wife, and her name was Orah, daughter of son of Kesed.
Who?
Kesed.
So that's the same as Kasdim. You look at that footnote down there at number B. It says the phrase Kasdim. Same thing we read in the blue letter, right?
Yep.
So we proven everything from concordance to history to scripts. We proven everything we got to prove. Go ahead and read.
And she bore a son, and she bore a son for him, and he called him Sarug.
Yeah, same as Sarug, but go ahead and read.
In the 7th year of that week, in that Jubilee, and the sons of Noah began fighting in order to take captive and to kill each other.
Go ahead, brother.
To pour the blood of man upon the earth.
Now this is antediluvian action. This is after the flood. This is antediluvian action that's going on. And I wonder why these wars are coming up and where they're coming up at. They look like they're taking place around earth. Yeah. Go ahead and read.
To eat blood, to build fortified cities and walls and towers, so that one man will be raised up over the people, to set up the first kingdoms to go to war.
That's right.
People against people and nation against nation and city against city. And everyone will act to do evil and to acquire weapons of battle and to teach their sons war.
Go ahead.
And they began to take captive a city and to sell male and female slaves. And the son of Kesed, built the city of of the Chaldees. And he named it after his name. So my thing is this right here. These are Abraham's ancestors that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
So we know who are the wise ones. The city of the wise ones is now, don't we?
Yeah.
We know who the city of the wise ones, the ones who invented everything that y'all Egyptology now. You got to come on with some more time. You got to do some deep digging. You're going to find something predate this.
Right.
So your claim that we stole or we plagiarized from y'all homosexual rights book, we just killed that.
Yeah.
It's dead in the water.
So this is probably one of the most effective ways to come at it.
Yeah.
The Egyptologists go before the Israelites.
That's right. Look at
your history before we became a nation. Look at the progenitors.
All praise to the Most High, brother. And that's why I came this way, because they don't want to hear about the Israelites.
Right.
Because they're going to say, well, y'all started with Abraham. No, we didn't. Right. We're going to run the lineage from Adam all the way down before Abraham and show you where the people that was doing this thing that the Most High had already preordained to do it. But we're going to show you through history that these were the same people. Even in your own history books, in your own museums, in your own anthropology, archaeology, and geography, these were still the people. So you can try to take the Bible off the table all you want. Go ahead and read.
It says, and the son of Kesed built the city of of the Chaldees.
That's right.
And he named it after his name, his father's name. And they made for themselves molten images. And everyone worshiped the icon which they made for themselves as a molten image. And they began making graven images and polluted likenesses.
Go ahead, brother.
And cruel spirits assisted them and led them astray so that they might commit sin and pollution. So
these evil spirits is back on the scene,
right,
after the flood, leading men astray.
Right.
But go ahead and read, brother.
And the prince Mastema.
Who?
Mastema.
Another name for Satan, but go ahead and read.
Acted forcefully to do all of this. And he sent other spirits to those who were set under his hand to practice all error and sin and all transgression, to destroy, to cause to perish, and to pour out blood upon the earth.
Listen to the next verse.
Therefore he called the name Sarug.
Oh, so this is no Abraham ancestors. Go ahead and read.
Because everyone had turned back to commit all sin and transgression.
Because everyone had turned back and committed all sin and transgression. Now, Let's let me see what I want to do. I don't think I want to go.
7 and 8.
Huh?
7 and 8.
Yeah, read that 7 8 while I'm gonna pull up this PowerPoint again.
Verse 7. The birth of Nahor. And he grew up and dwelt in Ur of the Chaldeans near the father of his wife's mother. And he used to worship idols. He took a wife in the 36th Jubilee.
In the what Jubilee?
36
Mhm.
Jubilee in the 5th week,
Mm-hmm.
in the first year thereof. And her name was Melka, daughter of Kaber, daughter of his father's brother. And she bore him for Nahor in the first year of that week.
She did what?
She bore for him Nahor in the first year of that week. And he grew up and dwelt in Ur among the Chaldeans.
And he grew up, and so Nahor, who was the progenitor of Terah, he grew up in the Ur of the Chaldees. Correct, my brother?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get in here and get this screen share going.
Let me finish it up.
Go ahead.
It says, and she bore for him Nahor in the first year of their week, and he grew up and dwelt in Ur among the Chaldeans. And his father taught him the researches of the Chaldeans in order to practice divination and astrology according to the signs of heaven.
All right, let's get back into this PowerPoint. We're gonna get back into this PowerPoint here in a minute. Let me get in here. I messed up something. I'm gonna get back on track though. That's what I want right here. Screen share. Get this off the screen. All right. So we want to. I tell you what, TJ. Let's do this first. All right, bro. Let's go. We're gonna do this right here first. We're gonna do the screen share first. All right. Now, this is the oldest known writing in Egypt. All right. And this thing right here, what you're looking at, brothers and sisters, it's called the Narmer Palette. And the reason why it's called the Narmer Palette, and as you can see through this right here, it's an Egyptian king conquering. Now, I didn't put this in the lesson. Like I said, I got some more bullets in the chamber. They ain't shot yet, and I'm leaving it out just because I know somebody's gonna come up with this, but I'm gonna leave this part out. But I want to say this right here. This is the oldest hieroglyphic writing in Egypt. Okay? And this is the Narmer Palette. And the reason why it's called the Narmer Palette is because King Narmer, and if you can see this, if I wish I could blow it up, he's got an Asiatic by the hair, an afro, man with an afro by the hair. He's an Asiatic. The reason why he's doing this is because, well, I ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna save it. But anyway, this is the oldest hieroglyphic there is, right?
Created 3200.
That's why I'm gonna get it. It said this was created in 3200 BC.
300 years before.
That 300 years after.
Yeah, after.
After.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
After cuneiform, because cuneiform 3500.
Yep.
And guess what? Cylinder seals.
That's correct.
Wait a minute. And cylinder seals were created 500 years before that.
Oh, yep.
So you're looking at 800 years
Before Egypt.
before Egypt even got things like hieroglyphics. This is the Narmer Palette. Now, we ain't going to get into the detail and the reason why I call Narmer, and I'll give you this little bit. On the obverse and reverse, and y'all look at where I'm pointing my mouse, right here and right here, because this is important. There's a facade of a palace with a catfish and a chisel. The catfish in Kemetic terms is Nar, the chisel is Mer. That's why it's called, that's how we know his name. His name is Narmer. All right. But guess what? When this was put this clay on in 3200 BC, wasn't no palaces in Egypt. So where did he get this palace facade from? There's an Asiatic down here that he conquered. You see that dude, the afro down there? We're gonna get into it in a minute. Now, I'm gonna give you a little bit more color so you can see. Now, y'all see this palette? 3,000 years. Now, I'm bringing this up. Do y'all see this? I'm gonna wait till y'all screen ain't shifted yet. It has.
No.
I'm gonna wait till the brother screen shift, then I'm gonna show y'all something. Huh? Yeah, the Hebrew alphabet. Now, that's the Hebrew alphabet you're looking at, brother. Okay. I'm gonna go y'all something. Now they're gonna say that Egypt wasn't influenced by the Sumerians, correct?
Right.
Well, we just see where the normal palette was created in 3200 BC. Now, look at the first word at the top of your slide, brothers and sisters. What is that?
Bed.
That means what?
House.
That means house, don't it? Hold up. Something wrong. Something wrong. Something is wrong. What's this right here? That's a palace facade. Mean house.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, you witch. How you gonna have a house facade, a palace facade, when y'all didn't have none when it was created? But you got the same thing right here. Uh-oh, I don't want to get that out too quick. Let me go back. You got the same thing right here in the Hebrew. So which one came first? Maybe it's because the Sumerians, where the Hebrews descend from.
Exactly.
Because I'm finna show you something else now, brothers and sisters. I'm finna show you something else now. There go the oldest temple in the world. Look at that palace facade right there. Don't that look like that was on the normal palette? That's out of Egypt. But look when this was built.
3,500.
Wait a minute. Now I'm finna show you the oldest temple in Kemet in Egypt. Now you see the white temple, the ziggurat, and where? Uruk. Let me read it. The original pyramidal structure, the Anu ziggurat, dates around 4,000 BCE, man.
Yeah. That's 1,000 years.
Okay.
Before them.
Now I'm finna show you something. Y'all ready for this? When was this built? Almost 2,000 years later, man.
Yeah.
So how in the world did Norman's palace, the Egyptian king, have a picture of a palace facade when it wasn't built? But the first pyramid was built years after he was gone. Look at this. This was commissioned by the Nisut or Pharaoh Sosa. He commissioned this temple to be built in the 27th century. This is the oldest pyramid, called the Step Pyramid. This is the oldest pyramid in Egypt, man. Well, we got a problem. This was built in 4000 BC. So how, I'm asking the question again. My thing acting funny now. I'm asking, how did Norman have a palace facade on his tablet in the first pyramid that get built to here? Now, you look on there for yourself. That was a palace facade right there. This was back in 3200 BCE. We saw that, didn't we, brother? I'm going to read that and show that again. 3200.
Yeah.
The first pyramid in Egypt wasn't built in 2600. We got a problem. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm asking the question. You see it right there? So, and it looked like it was a Hebrew. They used some Hebrew constructs on their
Of
palette.
course they did.
Now, if you can see on the palette, who he conquering? He conquering the Asiatic.
Right.
Because I was going to let the cat out the bag. There's a book called The Destruction of Black Civilization by Charles Windsor. And he says in the Old Kingdom, the Kemetics take hold or take control of Egypt again by running out the foreign Asiatics that was ruling it.
Yeah.
So I'm showing you all this history. Because when we get into these scriptures now, again, I'm just showing this for a little flavor. Now, we're going to get into the law, right? We're going to get into this thing of who had the oldest law. We read it a little bit earlier. Here's the code of Namu, of Namu. All right, there it is right there. There's another copy of it. I just threw that in there. Now look at the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead is an ancient Egyptian funerary text generally written on papyrus and used from the beginning of the New Kingdom. Not even in Norman's kingdom, around 1500 BCE. When we see the oldest writings in Sumer was all the way back in the 2600s.
Right.
We see that. The 42 negative confessions of Ma'at, we see how when they was written. So how do we plagiarize that? And I'm going to show you that the law always been around. It was just passed down orally. Because now we know that Abraham didn't write no laws down there.
Yeah.
But we finna learn that he learned the law, and we finna show you who taught it to him.
Yeah.
Okay, but you see the people that where he was from taught law or had a set of laws. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's go back to the scriptures. Let's go to Genesis chapter 20, bro. Genesis chapter 20. Genesis chapter 20. And we're going to pick it up at verse 8. Genesis chapter 20. Genesis chapter 20 and verse 8. We're going to read 8 through 11. And look, now this is Abimelech, who's a king in Ger. In Gerar or Kadesh, I'm sorry. But go ahead and read. What do it say, bro?
It says, therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears, and the men were so afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us, and what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin?
Stop. A great what?
A great sin.
Sin is the transgression of the law.
Yeah.
So this is not a Hebrew king.
Right.
How does he know what sin is? Because this is the second time that Abraham had told one of these kings that Sarah was his sister.
Right.
And the Most High brought some drama down on him for finna sleep with this man's wife. So if it was not a sin, number one, to sleep with somebody else's wife, and number two, how did he know it was a sin? And he wasn't of the lineage of Abraham.
Right. But he still holds the laws.
We going back to the code of Ur-Nammu. These laws was already in the land. Why? Because Ur the Chaldees, which is Sarug, which is a forefather of Abraham, these laws was already in the earth, man. This was a known thing in the earth.
Right. So the Torah, what we know is
the Torah was always here.
Universal law.
It was universal law.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm taking you the long way around, so you can cut out all the foolishness. When they come tell you, man, the law always been in the word.
How we know it was universal law? Because the whole world was punished for sin.
Okay.
On the flood.
If you go back to that's right, and if you go back to Genesis chapter 12, Pharaoh said the same thing. So how did Pharaoh know it was a sin? One of y'all so-called kings, Kemet kings, because it was already in the world, man. And we finna prove that. Go to Genesis chapter 26. Did you finish that 11?
Nah.
Go ahead and finish that out.
And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of Yah is not in this place.
He said he thought that the fear of the Most High was not in this place.
And they will slay me for my wife's sake.
And he said, I thought, man, y'all didn't know the law of the Most High.
Right.
So evidently they did. Now, let's go to Genesis 26. They knew the adultery aspect of it. But it was always lawbreakers, don't get me wrong.
Right.
It was always going to be law, and it's going to be lawbreakers until Yeshua get back. But let's look at this. Look what the scriptures say about our daddy Abraham. Genesis the 26, man, and read verses 2 through 5. Genesis the 26, 2 through 5. Look what it say.
Says, and Yahweh appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto
all of what countries? All of what countries? All of we finna read about what countries. We finna read about that in a little bit. Go ahead and read.
And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice, kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes.
Wait a minute. What no law written down yet? Abraham didn't get no law, did he?
Not written down, he did.
He said, because Abraham kept my charge. My commandments and what?
My statutes and my laws.
Wait a minute. See, we back to this thing. Which one came first, man? Y'all want to say we plagiarized y'all book. How? How?
Right.
He said Abraham knew about laws, he knew about statutes, he knew about commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go figure out where he learned from. And I got this pull this timeline pulled up, because we finna show y'all something. After this, we gonna kill the plagiarism card y'all been playing.
Right.
Let's go to the book of Jasher. Let's go to the book of Jasher, chapter 9. So this is how you got to put it together for these so-called educated aristocrats in these different conscious communities. Jasher, the 9, and we're going to read verses 1 through 6, my brother. Look at what it says.
And Haran, the son of Terah, Abraham's oldest brother, took a wife in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Haran was 39 years old when he took her, and the wife of Haran conceived and bare a son and called his name Lot.
Mm-hmm.
And she conceived again and bare a daughter, and she called her Milcah.
Mm-hmm.
And she again conceived and bare a daughter, and she called her name Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Haran was 42 years old when he begat Sarah, which was in the 10th year of the life of Abraham. And in those days, Abraham and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, as the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abraham.
All right, let me give a little background. Him and his mother, everybody was hiding in the cave because Nimrod was trying to kill him.
Right.
And he was hiding in the cave, so Nimrod couldn't find him. But look at what happened afterward. Go ahead and read.
When Abram came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem.
Hold up, wait a minute. He went to who?
Noah
And who?
and his son Shem.
Now I want to stop you right there. I want y'all to pay attention to this timeline that's on your page.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look down at the bottom. It says Abraham. And we're going to count back to Shem and to Noah. All right, we're going to go back. 1, his daddy Terah, right? 2, 3, there goes Sarah. 4, 5, 6, there go Eber. 7, 8, Arphaxad. 9, Shem, brother. And 10, Noah. This man that went back to his lineage 10 generations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Shem was antediluvian. Noah was antediluvian, correct? Right after the flood. Now, we finna see how Abraham knew the law. Statutes and commandments. Continue to read.
It says, and when he came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem.
Mm-hmm.
And he remained with them to learn the instructions of Yahweh.
He did what?
Ways, to learn the instructions of Yahweh and his ways.
Now, y'all can say what y'all want to say about Abraham. Y'all can't say Egypt was before Shem. Y'all can't say Egypt was before Noah. So he went back to 10 generations and learned the ways of Yahweh from Noah and from Shem.
Then when you read some parts of Jubilee, he tell you he revived the Hebrew language through Abraham. So he didn't start it with him. He brought it back.
Revived it.
He revived it.
Come on now, bring it out.
And then it's also some writings in the back of this super figure for volume 2 that tell you it talk about how the Greeks plagiarized from a lot of our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also mentions back there how the alphabet
Come on now.
with Abraham.
Come on now. See, we killing the garbage. So when these Egyptologists come up, y'all know how to get them now. Because we can go back in all our writings and in history and prove it out. And y'all know, these heathens putting this stuff in this book, they put the Most High letting them put these stuff in these books. And they don't know why they doing. They think they getting a name for themselves when they really proving out who the true children of the Most High power is. Mm-hmm. We'll read that over again. Read that verse over again, brother.
And when Abraham came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem,
mm-hmm.
and remained with them to learn the instructions of Yahweh and his ways.
Mm.
No man knew where Abram was.
Mm-hmm.
Abram served Noah and Shem, his son, for a long time.
For a long time.
And Abram was in Noah's house 39 years. 39 years. And Abram knew the Lord from 3 years old, and he went in the ways of the Lord until the day of his death, as Noah and his son Shem taught him.
That's right.
And all the sons of the earth in those days greatly transgressed against Yahweh. And they rebelled against him, and they served other gods.
Right.
And they forgot the Lord who had created them in the earth. And the inhabitants of the earth made themselves at that time, every man his god, gods of wood and stone, which could neither speak, hear, nor deliver. And the sons of men served them, and they became their God.
And see, he said they forgot about the God who had created them. They knew the law.
Yeah.
The law was always around. And we see who when we read in that Genesis 26, that Abraham kept all the laws that command, where he learned them from. So once again, what you gonna do with that? Now let's go to Genesis 4. Because this is around the time, this is right before Noah. This is a little bit before Noah, a few generations before. Because it said the men, right there we read the men forgot about the Lord, right?
Right.
All right, but let's see what Genesis 4 got to say. Genesis 4:26, we're going to read one verse, man. 4:26, what do it say?
And Seth, to him also was born a son, and he called his name Enos. And then began men to call upon the name of Yahweh.
So the men was always calling upon the name of the Lord before the flood and after the flood, but a lot of them forgot about it. Right. We just correlated that right there. Our captivity, even through our captivity, we found the law in our captivity, did we not, brother?
We always found the book of the law.
We always found the book of the law. The law always been around. We ain't had to plagiarize nothing because the Most High gave it to all forefathers, and it was passed down orally or written or whatever. We ain't got to plagiarize nothing from y'all.
So now you had to ask yourself, since you know our people going back before the Israelites was the one that predated everything.
Everything.
Now you had to ask the question, who's really plagiarizing from who?
See, I ain't even want to go there. I ain't even want to go there.
That's what you got to ask. Okay.
I ain't even want to go there.
So why all these other stories about Horus being born of a virgin? He wasn't even born of a virgin. He was born from some weirdo type mess.
We're going to get into a little bit of that. Not a whole lot of it. We're going to get into it.
So who's stealing from who?
That's what I'm saying. So y'all saying we plagiarized the Bible and we took y'all the first civilization. I can't tell. And we showing you the law was passed down to our forefathers point blank period anyway. And it's, as far as these heathens can go back, they say Earl of Chaldees. But we just read in the book of Jasher. It was back when Noah and Shem did the after the flood, coming off the boat, brother. So what is you saying? We ain't leave you no out academically, scripturally, none of that. You ain't got no outs on this. None. Now we're gonna look at the next little thing they like to say. They said that, man, y'all God sanctioned the murder of people. Y'all murdered all the Canaanites. He said, because I heard one brother say, well, if they was the chosen people, why he just didn't give them the land? He did give them the land, brother. Some of your ancestors, some of Ham's descendants squatted on our land. Because I got to be honest with you.
Trespass.
They trespassed. Now, I got to be honest with you. When the brother asked a question, I'm like, but then I got to read. I got to study. I said, oh, this joker here, he wasn't supposed to be there. So let me ask you a question, brother. If your granddaddy leaves you some land, and you go off and then you find out your that land belongs to your family, you come back, you find somebody on your land illegally, what you gonna do to them? And they tell you they ain't gonna leave.
Right.
Huh?
And then morally, what did the Canaanites do to deserve to be spared?
Exactly.
I mean, they sacrificed children to Molech.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? And not to mention Sodom and Gomorrah, he couldn't even find 10 righteous.
Couldn't even find 10 righteous.
So why did they need to be spared anyway in the first place?
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
See, they want to. He killed the babies.
Yeah,
he killed.
Did.
You know what I'm saying? He killed the babies. Now, what God gonna do that? Well, the God told you not to squat on that land.
Yeah.
Cause see, we finna go back. Let's go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop talking. Go to Jubilee. Go back to Jubilee, man. I'm finna kill that Noah right now.
Jubilee.
Yeah, Jubilee's the 8th on page 71, man.
Your God killed babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, righteous judgment. Jubilees the 8th, man. We finna kill that noise right now. Because he did something he wasn't supposed to do. That's why he got his head hit. He did 2 things he wasn't supposed to do. First, his daddy did, and then his daddy turned around and told him, man, don't do this, and he did it anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
I had this, this side. This
Go
got
ahead.
something to do with it, but
Go ahead.
This is funny because one day this woman tried to come at me for the Bible. She believed it don't give women no type of rights. She used the argument, your Bible killed babies. Now this same woman pro-abortion.
Yeah, you killing babies out every day. How you see? That's what I'm saying, man. You accusing somebody of stuff you doing.
This same woman pro-abortion now.
See, that's what I'm saying. And we don't read about that. I'm glad you brought that up, man. Because guess what? They kings, they pharaohs. See, when the brother said this, he didn't realize that they kings and they pharaohs were killing Hebrew babies for a long time.
That's where you think gator bait originated.
See, even before that joke, you know what? His dad. We're going to read about not the Pharaoh that Moses and them got in.
Right.
We're going to read about that joker dad and see how he was treating the Hebrew. But he want to put claim on us that our God is a murderer.
Right.
Okay, we finna read.
It is what it is.
We finna read this. Jubilees 8. Yeah, come do something about it. Jubilees, the 8th chapter. We're going to read 8 through 21. I know it sounds long, but it really ain't. Because these scriptures in the suit, people run real short. Check this out, man. Check it out, though.
All right.
Go ahead and pick it up and read that 8.
Jubilees chapter 8. If you can't find the page 71.
It's 71.
All right, let's pick it up at verse 8.
Go ahead, brother.
It says,
read and 6, yeah.
And in its 6 years, she bore a son for him, and he called him Peleg. In the days when he was born, the sons of Noah began dividing up the earth for themselves.
And we read about that, but go ahead and read.
Therefore, he called him Peleg, and they divided it in an evil manner.
They did what?
In an evil manner.
Yes,
they
sir.
Divided the land in an evil manner.
In an evil manner. But check, Noah gonna come and put some straightening on. Go ahead and read.
Among themselves, and they told it to Noah.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass at the beginning of the 3rd Jubilee that they divided the land in 3 parts. For Shem, Ham, and Japheth. According to the inheritance of each. In the first year, in the first week, while one of us who were sent was dwelling with them.
One of who was sent was dwelling with them? It was an angel. Go ahead and read.
And he called his children, and they came to him, and they and their children. And he divided by lot the land which his 3 sons would possess. And they stretched out their hands and took the document.
Took the what?
The document.
Wait a minute, there's a document got to be pulled up. See, that's why I told y'all we were coming back to this a couple weeks ago. We were coming back to this because I'm using this in both these lessons. There's a document going to be pulled up on y'all so-called Egyptians and Kemets. There's some document somewhere. We just read it then.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and read.
From the bosom of Noah, their father. And the lot of Shem was assigned in the document as the middle of the earth.
The middle of the what?
Middle of the earth.
Go ahead and read, brother.
Which he would take for his possession and for his sons for eternal generations.
For how many generations?
Eternal.
So this don't end. Go ahead and read.
And from the midst of the Rapha mountains. And from the north of the water of the river Tina.
We read about Tina over in the other book, but go ahead and read.
And his portion goes toward the west through the midst of this river. And it goes until it draws near to the water of the abysses from which this river goes forth. And its waters pour forth into the Meot Sea.
In the Meot Sea, Lake most that's all the way down in the Congo, man. But go ahead and read.
And this river goes on into the Great Sea. And everything which is toward the north belongs to Japheth.
Now we know that, but go ahead and read, brother.
And everything which is toward the south belongs to Shem. And his portion goes on till it draws near Careso, which is in the bosom of the tongue which looks toward the south. And his portion goes on towards the Great Sea. And it goes straight until it draws near to the west of the tongue, which looks toward the south, because the name of this sea is the tongue of the Sea of Egypt.
Of the who?
The Sea of Egypt.
So we all the way over to the Nile River, brother.
Mhm.
So not just that little strip of land in Israel, all the way over to the Nile River belong to us.
Right.
Go ahead and read.
And it is turned from there toward the south, toward the north of the Great Sea,
Mm-hmm.
and on the shore of the waters. And it goes on toward the west of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes on until it draws near the water of the river Gihon.
Gihon, that's one of the rivers coming out of Eden, ain't it?
Yep.
Ain't that coming out of Eden?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so I know. So we down in Ethiopia too.
Yep.
Some of that part of Ethiopia belongs to us too, don't it?
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead and read.
And toward the south of the water of Gihon, toward the shore of that river,
Mm-hmm.
it goes on toward the east until it draws near to the Garden of Eden.
Yes, sir.
Towards its south, to the south and east of all the land of Eden, to all of the east, and it turns in the east, and it comes forth until it draws near toward the last of the mountains, whose name is Rock.
Mm.
And it goes down toward the shore of the mouth of the Tina River. This portion was assigned by Lot to Shem.
To who?
To Shem.
Uh-huh.
And to his son
And-
to possess it.
yes, sir.
forever, for his
Mhm.
generations forever.
That's right.
And Noah rejoiced because this portion was assigned to Shem and for his sons, and he remembered everything which he spoke with his mouth concerning him, because he said, may the Lord God of Shem be blessed.
Mm.
May the Lord dwell in the dwelling place of Shem.
That's right.
And he knew that the Garden of Eden was the Holy of Holies and the dwelling of the Lord. And Mount Sinai was in the midst of the desert. And Mount Zion was in the midst of the navel of the earth.
Mm.
The three of these were created as holy places, one facing the other.
Mm-hmm.
And he blessed the God of gods, who placed in his mouth the word of the Lord and also the eternal God.
So Shem took over the priesthood after Noah. Go ahead and read.
And he knew that a blessed portion and a blessing had reached Shem and his sons for eternal generations.
Mm.
All the land of Eden and all the land of the Red Sea and all the land of the East, India, along the Red Sea and its mountains.
See, now you back in Sumer, the Near East is Sumer. India is after Sumer, ain't it? It's to the west of Sumer.
Right.
The Near East, Sumer, India, the Red Sea, Lebanon. Go ahead and read, brother.
And its mountains, all of the lands of Basra,
Mm-hmm.
all of the lands of Lebanon, the islands of Captor, all of Mount Sinir,
Mm-hmm.
Manus, Mount Ashur, which is north, all of the land of Elam, Ashur,
Uh-huh.
Babel, Susa, Media, and all of the mountains of Ararat.
Ararat, that's in Turkey, ain't it?
Mhm.
Ain't Ararat in Turkey? There was Noah ship landed there.
Yeah.
So Turkey, that's north of us, man.
Yeah.
North of Sumer, north of the Horn of Africa.
Mhm.
That's our land, too.
Yep.
Forever. Go ahead and read.
And all of the region beyond the sea,
Mm-hmm.
which is beyond Mount Ashur, which is toward the north, the blessed and wide land,
The blessed and wide land.
and everything which is in it very good.
So the Lord is dwelling with Shem in this thing. And now we see that, hey, man, we ain't took nothing from Canaan.
Right.
That's our land anyway,
Mhm.
according to the document that was in Noah's bosom. Correct, my brother.
Yeah.
Now, let's continue to read. We're going to read something else. Go over to page 74. And we're going to read something highlighted over there. We're still in the pseudepigrapal book of Jubilee, chapter 9, verses 2 through 6. And then we're going to read 14 through 15. Then we're going to go over to chapter 10. Go ahead and read.
It says,
Where it says, and Shem.
and Shem also divided amongst his sons, and the first portion was assigned to Elam and his sons toward the east of the Tigris River.
To the what?
The Tigris River.
Ain't that in Sumeria? Go ahead and read.
Until it approaches towards the east of all the land of India along the Red Sea,
Mm-hmm.
on its shores, the
Mhm.
waters of the Dan,
Mm-hmm.
and all the mountains of Mibri and Elam,
Come on, brother.
all of the land of Susa.
Susan, ain't that Shushan in the palace? They always talk about Shushan in the palace.
Yeah.
So that's our land too.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And everything which is beside Parnak, as far as the Red Sea and up to the Tina River.
Yeah.
And also to Ashur was assigned the second portion.
Mm-hmm.
All of the land of Ashur and Nivea and Shinar, and as far as the vicinity of India. And then it goes up and skirts the river.
Now pay attention. Pay attention what this brother finna read. Go ahead and read, brother.
And our Faxad was assigned the third portion.
Uh-huh.
All of the land of the region of Chaldea.
Oh, what?
All of the land of the region.
Oh, Faxad. Now we go back and look at that slide if we want to. We see that hard Faxad. Hey, he wanted, that's in our line, ain't it? Yeah. And he said all the region of Chaldea, which you know what it is, Sumer, ancient Sumer, correct? Yeah. The Chaldea, but go ahead and read.
Says toward the east of the Euphrates,
uh-huh,
which is near the Red Sea.
Mm-hmm.
All the waters of the desert, as far as the vicinity of the tongue of the sea, which faces toward Egypt.
Mm.
And all of the land of Lebanon and Shinar and Ammana, as far as the vicinity of the Euphrates.
That's up.
And to Amram, the fourth portion.
Now, see, Amram is very important. And the only reason I bring Amram up, because that's where we get our Aramaic tongue from. Amram, or the Arameans, which even in the Bible, Abraham is known as an Aramean because he spoke Aramaic. Okay, but go ahead and read. Was a sign.
Was a sign. All of the land of Mesopotamia.
Oh, there it is right there. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Between the Tigris and the Euphrates toward the north of the Chaldeans up to the vicinity of Mount Ashur and the land of Arora.
Mm-hmm.
And to Lud, the fifth portion was assigned Mount Ashur and everything pertaining to it until it approaches the Great Sea. And it draws near toward the east of Ashur, his brother. And
all right, now let's go and prove some more stuff. We're going to prove some more stuff.
Skip down to 14.
Skip down to 14. I'm sorry. All right, yeah, do 14 and 16. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead and read.
And thus the sons of Noah divided for their children before Noah their father. He made all them swear an oath to curse each and everyone who desired to seize a portion, which did not come in his lot. They all said, so be it, and let it be to them and to their sons forever in their generations, until the day of the judgment in which the Lord God will judge them with the sword and with fire on account of all the evil pollution of the errors which have filled the earth with sin and pollution and fornication and transgression.
So they made a vow that they weren't going to do no landmark moving, no transgression on each other's land, correct?
Right.
So now they made a vow to the Most High. They made a vow in front of their daddy. Noah got the documents. Noah had the document. He gave it to them. Now let's go into chapter 10 and see what happened. The reason why the Most High sanctioned the killing of the Canaanites. Let's go into chapter 10. So we're gonna kill this thing that y'all God sanctioned killing, murder, babies, and all that. When you transgress the law, the heat got to come down.
It came down on us and I.
Showed it's still coming down. But he squatted on some land he wasn't supposed to squat on.
Yeah.
Jubilees, 10th chapter, and we're gonna pick it up at the 27, read 27 through 34.
And in the fourth week, in the first year, in the beginning of it, in the 34th Jubilee, there was scattered from the land of Shinar. Ham and his sons went into the land which was his possession.
They went into the land which was their possession. Go ahead.
Which he found in his portion in the land of the south. But Canaan saw that the land of Lebanon, as far as the river of Egypt, was very good. And he did not go into the land of his inheritance toward the west, that is the sea. But he dwelt in the land of Lebanon, eastward and westward, from the bank of Jordan and from the shore of the sea. And Ham, his father, and Cush and Mizraim, his brother, said to him, you have dwelt in the land which is not yours, nor did it come forth for us by lot.
That's right.
Do not do this, because if you do this, you and your children will fall in the land and be cursed with sedition. Because by sedition you have dwelt, and by sedition your children will fall, and you will be uprooted forever.
So his own family members telling me, man, you won't get your kids in trouble. Go ahead and read.
Do not dwell in the dwelling of Shem, because it came to Shem and his sons by lot.
That's right.
And scripture tell you the Most High determines the lot.
And he frowned. He frowned on you taking somebody else's land and moving landmark. He frowned on that, brother. He dead serious about that. Go ahead and read.
You are cursed. You are cursed, and you will be cursed more than all of the sons of Noah by the curse which we swore with an oath before the holy judge and before Noah our father.
That's right.
But he would not listen to them, and he dwelt in the land of Lebanon from Hamath to the entrance of Egypt, he and his sons unto this day. And therefore that land is called Canaan.
That's why the land is called Canaan, because he squatted on the land, but his family told him, man, you finna get your head hit. You better get out of here, man.
Makes sense in the Zechariah where he's saying there will be no more Canaanites.
There will be no more Canaanites, brother. That's exactly right, bro. Yeah. So, hey, there go another one down. Y'all talking all that mess. And see, I had to deal with these, I deal with a lot of different people, man. I know a lot of the brothers do too. But man, I be on the hunt, going out trying to search these jokers out.
Yeah.
And I listen to them, and they talk a whole lot of smack that they really can't prove. But see what they do, brothers. So y'all got to be ready for this. They try to take your Bible, and that's why I say you got to be well versed in your scriptures. You got to be studied up. They gonna take the Bible and they gonna twist it. And if you ain't learning this thing, they gonna get y'all. And see, they can be wrong in the day and long, but if you unprepared, they gonna make you look like you don't know what you talking about, and that the Bible is a lie.
And then I noticed a lot of them, even though they try to get rid of the Bible, they still talk to an Israelite like we a Sunday Christian. Like that's how they speak about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Well, your Bible says people go to heaven, and well, as an Israelite, I don't believe it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But they try to talk to you like
you a Sunday Christian.
Right.
Because they unlearned. But see, I'm going to tell you something. You got a lot of Saturday people ain't in their book like they should be. And they ain't studying up like, and like I told the brews down at Tupelo, this how, we got to be this sharp in this thing, y'all. We got to take the Sunday Christian and teach them the law out the New Testament. We got to take the Old Testament saint and teach them grace out of the Old Testament. And we got to take these jokers from Hinduism, Islam, whoever, Seventh-day Adventist, Egyptology, and lay their head wide open with this history and these scriptures. Right. That's how we got to be in these last days. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. All y'all going to come up on some of this stuff. And y'all better be able to make full proof of your ministry. You better be able to make full proof of your ministry. Because they coming out the woodwork now. Especially with this new quote-unquote conscious community and all these debates they have now. You see, you got to be able to do all that. But let's go to the next place. Let's go to Exodus.
And then you also got to be versed in history.
Yeah, in history. You know what I'm saying is
the Bible reference history, because you got some brews out there think all they need is the Bible and that's it.
Bro. And see them jokers tell you a new
It is
to somebody who's looking for the truth. Right. But a joker that's trying to come back and try to raise up their religion or belief, man, you gonna need to
know how to answer that. You
That's
know
right.
what I'm saying? Because like a lot of the Egyptologists like to do, because see, they don't bring no type of books. They don't bring no type of book.
They don't even believe in their own book. Let me tell you.
You know what I'm saying? So they not gonna want you to use no book.
Nope. They're gonna use history, archaeology, anthropology, geography. That's why I took y'all through all that.
The Bible reference.
The Bible reference, we proved it.
Right.
But if you don't know all this, they gonna, like I was telling my reader, I said, if you don't know all this, they gonna make you look like you don't know what you talking about. When they wrong as a day is long, but they gonna make you the one look wrong because you ain't up on the rest of it.
Right.
You see, they be throwing out big words and histories and dates, and all you be sitting there looking like, you know what I'm saying?
I just know person so say, see, you ain't gonna be able to just.
You ain't better fight it like that, man.
Right.
You ain't ready to fight it like that, bro. We got to be sharp, man.
Yeah.
We got to be sharp in this thing.
I mean, you gonna, because see, you gonna have to be, because if other people standing around watching this,
that's what I'm talking about.
You can call somebody to not.
Come on, bro.
You know, walk in the way of the commandments if they standing there making.
Boy, say it. Because I told my reader the same thing. I said, now, what if you in a debate and this folks standing there and watching?
Right.
And that Kemet or that Egyptologist make you look stupid. When he can be wrong.
Yeah.
But he make you look stupid. And they well, them Hebrews don't know what the hell they talking about. I'm going over here with them.
Right.
Man, look, most I gonna say, man, look.
And then look, somebody could have been standing that was on the fence.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? They was teetering between.
Man, I told my real the exact same thing.
And being Kemet.
Yeah.
So we gotta know on all fronts. We gotta know mathematically. We gotta know. That's why it's important to get into your language. Because when you get into your language, man, it's gonna open up so much more understanding.
Man, what you said.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
some as simple as the word Abba.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you bring it all the way back to the pictographs, the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, sir.
And when you get the numerical value of what makes up the word Abba in the Hebrew, the pictographs gonna take you back to strength of the house.
Come on now.
So now we fast forward 2020.
Come on now.
The so-called Israelite man ain't in the house. So the strength of the house is gone. Now look at the household.
But see, you can't deal like that if you ain't up on your scholarship, man.
I'm saying. So, but if you just reading the scriptures and that's it, no deeper study, no study of history, none of that. I mean, you can find yourself in this position that we talking about.
See, that's a bad thing to do because then the Most High, hey man, he said study to show yourself approved. Yeah. You see, a workman that needed not be ashamed. Yeah. See, I be begging for one of them jokers roll up on me.
Yeah. And when you look at our forefathers, like some of our wisest forefathers,
yes,
Abraham,
sir.
Daniel, it tell you Daniel knew science.
He knew everything.
The astrology.
Showed he.
All that. You look at
same like Joseph.
Yeah.
Man, Joseph, man, and Benjamin, them jokers be stars and everything.
And they could read the stars and they could tell you where you was at.
GPS. You understand what I'm talking about?
So so you know, we gotta learn more than just the scriptures.
Man, we got to be well versed, well rounded on everything.
Yeah. And
see, that's why the brothers, man, you know what I'm saying, man, that's why we bounce stuff off each other all the time. Mm-hmm. We bounce stuff off each other, man. They're like, okay, what you think about this? Like, he was calling me about the thing up on the mountain up there, the UN joint.
Yeah.
Man, look, man, hey, we got to know about everything. See, we really ain't got time to look at TV, man.
So no.
We ain't got time to
need to cut that off, matter of fact.
We need to get in these history books, these geography books, geology books, these scriptures, these laws books. We need to be on top of the game.
Man, turn the TV out sometime and just study your enemy.
Right.
Like just see what he like to do, what he like to talk about.
And that's what I've been doing.
Just study your enemy.
Cause see, that's the main thing. Y'all played it right. That's dead now. That's over with. Y'all can stop that lie. Mm-hmm. Then they won't say, well, y'all murdered. Y'all squatting on our land.
Right.
Somebody come in if somebody break in your house, you gonna let them stay in your house? You come home, nigga sitting on your couch eating peanut butter jelly time, watch TV. What you gonna do?
But see, that lets me know statement when Egyptologists make statements. See, y'all got murder. Y'all got murder babies where you're not even familiar with the customs of the people you claim it, because their customs was to sacrifice children to them.
Come on. And then we just saw the normal palette. Normal was killing folks then.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
Why you acting like you care about my God killing your people when your people killed your own people, baby?
Thank you, man.
So why do you care so much that my God killed your people, baby?
Because they use. See, I'm gonna tell you, the conscious community is on a Black Power movement on steroids type deal. Yeah, now, bro. That's all it is. But let's get back to these scripts. Let's go back to Exodus. Let's go to Exodus. And we're gonna move over to the gods of Egypt, all right? Mm-hmm. Exodus 23. Exodus to 23.
At least when we type up who invented our belief system, heathens don't pop up.
Heathens don't pop up.
Heathens don't pop up. They can't say that.
Nah.
And they
sure can't, bro.
Another one they came with, a white man wrote that book.
Nah, he didn't. We can prove it. We just proved it.
That's what I'm saying. And we can type up yours up on Google.
Yeah.
And see who came
all them heathens came up. What's name? I can't think of that one dude's name.
He got a foreign name.
Yeah, he got a little beard or whatever. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But hey, anyway, hey man, y'all kill that. Y'all kill that noise. Y'all done. Yeah. 23, Exodus 23 and 28 through 33, bro. What do it say?
It says, I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before thee. Mm-hmm. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year.
Right.
Lest the land become desolate and the beasts of the field multiply against thee.
Right.
Little by little, I will drive them out before thee until thou be increased and inherit the land. And I will set thy bounds from the Red Sea, even unto the sea of the Philistines.
Oh, so we back to Ashur then. Like we just got through reading in it, brother. Okay, all right, go ahead and read.
And the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out from before thee.
There you go.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them nor their God.
Mm-hmm.
They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make thee sin against thee.
Now, why you making covenant with the Egyptologists? Come on now. Why you making covenant with the Egyptologists, man?
And I don't see none of these Negroes walking around with them plates in their mouth.
Showed up.
Why y'all ain't doing that?
And getting the little slices in your forehead.
Yeah.
Get your slices too.
Get them big old dinner plates that be sticking in their mouth. You Negroes that talking about you Egyptologists, I want to start seeing that.
Yeah, I want to see the little slices in your head.
Yeah.
And then shave your head bald. You hear me? And then get the little pony, like Shaka almost got the one little ponytail on. And then also,
don't makeup too.
Yeah, put your little eyeliner on.
Yeah, we want to see that.
Put your eyeliner on, put your little ponytail over there, shave your head, and walk around, you know, with your buttocks hanging out.
Yeah.
Go ahead on with it.
Because they practice homosexuality too.
We gonna show it. We gonna show you y'all God the mother. I mean, y'all God the earth and sky. We gonna show y'all them in a few minutes. But go ahead and read.
It says that was it. No,
that was it. On 33.
It says they should not dwell in thy land lest they make thee sin against me.
Uh-huh.
Or if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare.
So that's why he told them to kill them all.
Yeah.
Man, get them out of the land. Don't deal with them jokers. Because they're gonna make you sin against me.
Mm-hmm.
So he was squatting on our land anyway, partner. Now, let's look at some of these Egyptian gods and kings. Because they so cold with it. They want to say they were the great kings, and this, that, and the third. Let's see some of these sorry jokers. Now, we're going to read about the Pharaoh, the daddy of the Pharaoh, you hear me, that was before the one that Moses dealt with, him and Aaron dealt with. We're going to read about the Pharaoh before him. Okay. Let's read about that joker. Jack, I'm going to show you something. And the game don't change, just the faces and the name. Look what this sorry joker was doing, man. But he was transgressing the law against the Most High people. And the Most High put some stuff on him. But look at what these sorry jokers was doing. Read that 24, man, through 36. Look at this sorry joker. Hamite bastard. Go ahead and read, man.
And all the children of Israel were yet in the land of Egypt, serving the Egyptians in all manner of hard work. And the hand of Egypt continued in severity over the children of Israel in those days.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, the Lord smote Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he afflicted him with the sore plague of leprosy from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head.
So this dude got sores all over him.
Yeah.
Leprosy all over him. Go ahead and read.
Owing to the cruelty treatment of the children of Israel was this plague at the time from the Lord upon Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
See that, you heathen?
See that? And see, I'm telling y'all, these modern day Egypt, this house of bondage that we in, y'all got some plagues coming, some more plagues coming too, partner. Y'all keep on messing with us, keep on doing us dirty. What's that?
Why European Yiddish? Ain't nobody on here speaking Yiddish, David. Who is this?
Man, one of y'all get his brother that.
Wait till you see.
Boy, I'm ready to get that.
Hold on, Corey.
Hold on, Corey. I just finna get that joke. Hey,
Corey already asked him.
Corey already asked him. Well, hey, get out of here.
Hey, boy, Corey booted them boy.
Yeah.
Saturn, I can still hear him screaming.
Kicked him up between his shoulder blades. Put his rear reach between his shoulder blades. Thank you, brother Corey.
Look, I was trying to save the brother.
Yeah, we ain't saving nobody.
Corey said, and you out of here.
Go ahead and pick it back up, bro.
It said, for Yahweh had hearkened to the prayer of his people, the children of Israel, and their cry reached him on account of their hard work. I'm still tripping out that. Still, his anger did not turn from them, and the hand of Pharaoh was still stretched out against the children of Israel. And Pharaoh hardened his neck before the Lord, and he increased his yoke over the children of Israel.
Smitten was so, and this yoke was still hardening his neck.
It was just like
his son.
Yeah,
it's just like his son did.
Mm-hmm.
So see, your kid be watching you now. And man, look, okay, well, go ahead and read.
That's how you know racism is taught.
Yeah, racism taught. He was looking at his dad. Well, my daddy, he's still
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna let him go either. So it's a learned behavior. That's a learned behavior.
Even though these people was the same color, but I'm just saying we see how hatred of another nation is.
Right, bro. And it wasn't about color, it was about bloodline.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why you hate it today, Israel, because of your bloodline. But go ahead and read.
Yeah, it says, and when the Lord had inflicted the plague upon Pharaoh, king of Egypt, he asked his wise men and sorcerers to cure him.
He had who?
His wise men and sorcerers to cure him.
And look what these sorry jokers told him, and he did it. Watch this.
It says, okay,
29.
It says, and his wise men and sorcerers said unto him, that if the blood of the little children were put into the wounds, he will be healed.
So now I want to stop you right there. You got that adrenochrome going on right now. These folks is scared and frightening these babies, and when they blood get a bunch of adrenaline in it, they kill them and they drive blood. They doing it right now today. He said, look, man, put the blood of these little Hebrew babies in your sword and they'll be healed. It's that movie, Mandingo.
Oh, yeah.
Got the little bitty boy sitting up on his feet, trying to draw the information out. See, they've been doing it like this forever.
Yeah.
And you think the Most High ain't gonna come back and split some wheat? Now this joker here killing the babies and putting the blood in. So his son after him, the Pharaoh was throwing the babies in the Nile River for the gators to eat.
And don't forget, when we couldn't meet our quote on the brick and mortar,
come on now,
they stuffed our kids in there in place of that mortar.
We should read.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We should read. I think I got it in there. I cut it short.
But this the same chapter.
This the same chapter, but I didn't put that in there. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it. They did put our babies in the walls of them pyramids and stuff them built. Yep. Go ahead and read.
It says, what verse 30?
We in verse 30.
It says, and Pharaoh hearkened to them and sent his ministers to Goshen to the children of Israel to take their little children.
And now imagine your baby getting snatched up out your arm. You know you're going to get his throat cut. Go ahead and read.
And Pharaoh's ministers went and took the infants of the children of Israel from the bosoms of their mother by force.
By force?
And they brought them to Pharaoh daily.
Daily. They brought these babies to this man. He killing babies on a day-to-day. Go ahead and read.
A child each day, and the physicians.
The who?
The physicians.
Oh, the abortionists.
Yeah.
The abortionists.
They use the doctors to carry out they dirty.
And the physicians, the abortionist clinics, the nurse in the abortion clinic, and the physicians did what, brother?
They killed them and applied them to the plague.
And applied them. Now, it's a thing on YouTube. You can go look at shit online. Your girl, Sandra Bullock, was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and they taking the foreskins of baby penises and rubbing on their face to keep them looking young. Now, then they just say they apply the babies to the skin? Huh? Adrenochrome. That's why you see all these babies coming up missing all the time. Most of them, they Hebrew babies. Because, see, it's something about the melanin and all that. They look at that movie. What's that movie? Get Out.
Right.
You think I'm lying? They telling you right in your face what they doing to you. You don't hear about that? Now, I'm going to ask the Egyptology Kemet brother. Where you read that in the Bible? That we did that to y'all kids.
Yeah.
He just told us to get rid of y'all. He told us to suck your blood, drink your blood, apply your blood, put the skin on. He ain't tell us to do none of that. But go ahead and read.
And the number of the children which Pharaoh slew was 375.
So he killed a baby almost every day. Go ahead and read.
But the Lord hearkened not to the physicians of the king of Egypt.
That's right.
The plague went on increasing mightily. And Pharaoh was 10 years afflicted with that plague. Still the heart of Pharaoh was more hardened against the children of Israel. At the end of 10 years, the Lord continued to afflict Pharaoh. With destructive plagues.
That's right.
And the Lord smote him with a bad tumor. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And sickness at the stomach.
Yes, sir.
And that plague turned to a severe boil.
Hey, that's how we're going to read on that. Now, that's y'all Pharaoh. That's one of y'all Pharaoh. That's how y'all got down. That's documented. That's documented. What's up?
What? I'm going to get David his answer. I don't know why he talking about we speaking years. We was just talking about the pictographs and all that. How is that Jewish?
Hit me up on the email, man. You know, I may have gave the order too quick. I'm quick to pull the trigger on the Joker. But hey,
that boy still going
he
up
did.
to the skies. Corey booted
on. Hit me up on the email, man. And I answer the question then. I ain't got time right now. But anyway, Exodus 12 and 12, man. You got a one hitter quarter.
Maybe he was quick on the draw.
Yeah, he was quick on the job. Exodus 12 and 12. That joke up to Jupiter right about that.
He's still flying.
Yeah. Exodus, the 12th chapter, the 12th verse, one hitter quarter. What do it say, man?
All right. Exodus 12 and verse 12.
Look what the Most High said after this right here. Look what he did. Go ahead and read.
For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night and will smite the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh.
Against the kids and the God, I'm going to execute judgment.
Yeah.
Y'all was killing our babies, pouring blood in your womb. Y'all was killing our babies, throwing them in the Nile. I'm getting everybody tonight.
Man.
I'm getting everybody tonight. I'm going to show your gods ain't hitting on nothing. So Horus, what was Horus that night if he was so cold?
And then you had what made it so crazy. The Most High did that by design. Every plague he sent, Egypt had a god for.
Yeah.
And they God didn't stop none of them plagues.
What was Osiris and Horus and Geb and Nut?
Yeah.
Where were them punks at?
Yeah.
They so cold.
They had a god for every plague the Most High sent. They got a god of the flies.
So wait, where was that? Where was that?
Where was they at?
That god of water, what's her name? Narmu or something like that.
Where was she
Where
at?
was she at?
What was the prophecy saying? The Egyptian prophecy saying that was going to happen?
Come on now. What is it?
If your God is God, what was the prophecy saying they was going to be destroyed by the God
Ain't
of
none.
Hebrew?
Ain't none.
Other than the Bible.
See?
Did the 42 laws of Ma'at say anything about that?
Hell no.
If they was all powerful, all knowing, why wouldn't they have prophecy?
Preempted.
And then why couldn't they see their destruction coming?
Or when the destruction came, why y'all ain't stopping? You gonna let your people get killed by a foreign god?
On top of that, why hasn't Egypt been a world power since then?
Thank you.
Since the Israelites left up out of there, Egypt ain't been a world power since then.
Still got your drawers hanging around your ankle.
These questions that need to be answered, man.
Since y'all so powerful, look like y'all could have rolled back up by now.
That's all I'm saying.
But y'all got the Israelites ruling y'all land.
Yeah. Where we at?
Numbers the 33, man, 1 through 5.
All right.
He said, I'm gonna show I'm gonna kill all y'all firstborn, and I'm gonna show the gods of Egypt up. Numbers 33, man, and read 1 through 5. Numbers 33. Let me get there. Where was y'all gods at then? 1 through 5. Numbers 33.
Negroes believe in half man, half gods.
And look how he did. He took out Egypt, and then he turned around and took out the Canaanites. Both of y'all had beef. Y'all was killing Egypt. Egypt was killing the all people. And then Canaan was squatting on our land.
Man, can I get a precept about Egypt real
Man,
quick?
go on, get it in.
They go to Ezekiel 29.
Yes, sir. Get it in.
Ezekiel 29. Read one verse. Get this precept about Egypt.
And then they want to call us them stinking shepherds. Okay.
Man, for the last 2,500 years, Egypt has been controlled by a foreign world power.
Sure have.
So I don't want to hear none of that. The Romans, the Ottomans, now the Europeans.
Right.
Now the so-called, the Chinamen now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But this is Ezekiel 29, 14 to 15. It says, and I will bring again the captivity of Egypt and will cause them to return into the land of Pathros, into the land of their habitation. And they shall there be a base kingdom.
A what?
A base kingdom.
I mean, y'all gonna be basic, man. Y'all
you bottom flow.
You bottom feeders, man.
You bottom flow. It says, and it shall be the basest of kingdoms. neither shall it exalt itself any more above the nations.
That's right.
For I will diminish them. They shall no more rule over the
Now
nations.
tell me if he lying.
When has they ruled ever since we
Tell
left?
me is the scripture lying? Where y'all at?
That's all I'm saying.
Where y'all at, man?
You've been ruled by a foreign power for the last 2,500
That's right.
years.
That's right.
And Negroes are running around today saying, I'm Kemet, I'm Egyptology.
Yeah, and that gonna get you in trouble, brother.
Okay.
But you know, I'm on the high power thing. I'm spiritual Kemetic. I'm Orthodox Kemetic. You still living up to the so-called powers of Egypt. There are no powers.
Yep.
That's what you still doing. You holler Kemetic. Where was Kemeticism born at?
And he just said, y'all will never rule again.
Never. But hey, I can go on, but we're gonna get there. Go ahead, 33. 33, what did it say, man? 33, 1 through 5.
It says, these are the journey of the children of Israel,
Yay.
which went forth out of the land of Egypt,
Egypt laid flat. Go ahead and read.
with their armies,
What they who?
under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of Yahweh.
Yes, sir.
These are their journeys according to their goings out.
Mm-hmm.
And they departed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month, on the morrow after the Passover.
After the Passover.
The children of Israel went out with a high hand.
With a what kind of hand?
A high hand.
High hand, brother.
In the sight of all the Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
In their face, huh?
In their face, brother.
For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn.
While we walking out the door with all their gold and silver, they burying their dead.
Hallelujah.
While we walking out the door, they burying kids on that day. Go ahead and read.
Which the Lord has smitten among them upon their gods.
Mm.
Also.
Upon their what?
Their God.
He did what?
He also, the Lord, executed judgment.
Executed judgment on them jakes, man. Go ahead and read.
And the children of Israel removed from Ramses and pitched in Sukkot.
So if y'all God was so cold with it, why y'all ain't stopping?
Right.
If y'all God was so from outer space and from another dimension, why they didn't stop it? It's documented.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, it's documented on the wall of y'all pyramids. It's documented. So if y'all was so cold with it, why y'all didn't stop it? I ain't finna let nobody come in my house, kill my kids, and walk out with my goods. Now, we done killed their gods. We done killed the lie about us killing their babies unjustly, unwarranted. We done killed the lie about them being the first to do everything. Mm-hmm. We got it documented, right?
Right.
Now, we've been touching on it. Let's go to Isaiah the 41. We almost out of here. Isaiah the 41. We talked about it, but we're going to read, because thus saith Yahweh.
That's right. They do practice witchcraft.
Yeah, they practice witchcraft. They practice a whole lot of stuff. Like homosexuality, witchcraft.
And sex, a lot of the sex practices
the
world like to do today.
Before we do that, I want to show the people something before we get into the scriptures again. Because once we read these last scriptures, we out of here. I want to show the people.
That's why it's so appealing to a lot of our people, because they see that it's something that pleases the flesh.
Right. That's all
it do. That's all it do. Then they try to what we used to call the Egyptologist doctrine something that a few years ago, because they was trying to tell the black woman, you God, and
man, look,
what was that we used to call it? I can't think of the name, but it was a funny little name we used to call it. But it's basically pimp doctrine. We had another little funny name for it, but yeah, it just caters to the flesh. That's why a lot of people is drawn to it. Right.
You know
what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me get this right here. Where's the thing here, man?
We from Egypt.
No,
where?
Now, I want to show y'all this before we get into the last scripture. Mm-hmm. Now, here go Gab and Newt. Mm-hmm. Now, Gab is the female part of the God, they so-called God, one of their gods. Right. That's the one that's supposed to be the sky. You hear me? Mm-hmm. He got Newt down here supposed to be the earth. What in the world is he doing?
Wow.
What is he doing?
Y'all see that? Look at that on the bottom right there.
Now, now they brother and sister now.
Right.
First of all, they supposed to be brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Gab is the earth,
Wow.
which in everybody else's religion or belief system, the earth is the one.
Mm-hmm.
But in their belief system, the earth is the man.
And nature don't even tell you.
Nature don't even tell you that. Now and then, but here's
crazy.
Now why he got? See, everybody else want to put the seed in the earth. According to they pictogram, he want to put the seed in himself. Right. In his mouth.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Look at this right here. Gab and Newt, these two gods embody opposites. The earth god Gab, the joker right here, and the represents the dry land, and his hug is the husband of the sky goddess Newt. Now, how you the husband of your sister?
Boy, cover them short-legged eyes.
Yeah, cover them short-legged eyes. But I want to show y'all this here.
Sam, cover your eyes, baby.
Newt is portrayed as a woman. Now, how do a woman got a male member? So, a transgender. Mm. So you got a man and a woman with the same thing, but one of them a woman, and the one man putting the thing in his mouth.
Yeah.
These supposed to be y'all gods, Mr. Kemetic man, Mr. Egyptologist. Just on the walls of y'all pyramids.
So some people say they the Kemetic Orthodox, and
man, I don't want to hear it.
So what spiritual can come out of this?
Uh-huh.
What spiritual lesson can you take from this picture? Anybody?
Look, she is the daughter of Shu and Tefnut. And these the brother and sister, man. This is a brother and sister, supposed to be brother and sister gods, brother. But the sister got the same thing the brother got, but the brother on his back trying to put it in his mouth. What kind of garbage is that? But y'all, see, I told you, y'all want me to get at y'all. I'm snatching the draws off the devil.
Hey, man, I give anybody $100 after the sun go down to show me which Bible passage plagiarized.
Thank you.
I'll bring it to your front door.
What we plagiarize that from?
That's all I want to know.
Get this garbage off the screen. I just want to show y'all this, man.
Shut the front and back door. And
I just want to show y'all this. I want to show y'all this, man, because they full of mess. Now, when they come up with a good reason for that, everybody change something.
I'm not even entertaining them today.
You see what I'm saying?
Till they explain that.
But that y'all God is.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to the script, man. I want to show that before we get out of here. Isaiah 41, and we're gonna read, because it's an abomination. Now they showed up abomination, choose one of them gods over the Most High.
Sure live.
That's why he says it's an abomination to choose a God over me.
Yeah.
I ain't told nobody to do that. But your God tell you to do that. First you sleeping with your sister, but your sister got the same thing you got there. You trying to come on, bro.
What's the Osiris and
Horus and all them jokers?
Read that story.
Yeah.
Go
read it.
Go get the book of the dead and read it.
I'm saving that one. The bullet still in the clip. Because I know they're going to try to explain it well. Yeah. But y'all got too many homosexual stories in y'all writings, man.
So, dude, then you look at what's the boy named Shaka Most got the one.
Yeah, that's him. Shaka Most got the outline and all that old man.
Boy, y'all some.
Hey, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all got homo stuff running all through y'all stuff, man. Don't even, and the sad part about it, it's y'all gods just pushing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, man. But let's get back to the script. Isaiah 41, 21 through 24. Look what the Most High say, man. What it say, man?
It said, produce your cause, saith Yahweh.
If you God, produce your cause. He said, man, you God, produce your cause. Go ahead and read.
It says the Lord, bring forth your strong reason.
Yeah.
Said the King of Jacob.
See, now y'all got to explain that little Gab and Newt thing. Where your strong reason on that? Produce your call, partner.
So do.
But go ahead and read.
And these are so-called straight males.
Yeah, so-called.
You know.
You pushing that? I bet y'all can't go. Let me come to one of y'all joke house, see if y'all got that picture up in y'all house. Y'all got all the Pharaohs hanging on the wall.
I look.
Huh?
They don't even had the plates in their mouth.
Come on, bro.
I'm still waiting to see that.
Come on.
And then they put the plates in the ears too.
Yeah.
I don't see none of you Negroes doing
That
that.
I don't see that nowhere in the Bible. But the Most High said, produce your cause, partner. Go ahead and read.
Right. It says, let them bring forth and show us what shall happen.
That's right.
Let them show the former
The
things,
things of old,
what they be,
what they were.
that they may consider them
Uh-huh.
and know the latter end of them, or declare us things for
Come
to
on.
come.
Now, can your God do that? If he could, he wouldn't have got his head hit in Egypt. They wouldn't have got their head hit in Canaan. He said, if your God can tell you what used to be, what is, and what's to come, then he'll be God. Go ahead and read.
So if your God ain't got prophecies,
No, ain't got no prophecy.
he ain't no God. And if they ain't true,
Right.
he ain't God.
Go ahead and read.
It says, what they be, what that we may consider them and know the latter end of them,
That's right.
or declare us things for to come.
That's right.
So the things that are to come out hereafter,
Mm-hmm.
that we may know that ye are God.
So I can't tell y'all no God.
That's the
Right
only way.
here playing with yourself and ain't got no problem about what's finna hit. Our Bible that we read, he told everything that was gonna happen before it happened. He told you the end result, and he even telling you what's happening right now, and he telling you what's gonna happen on down the line.
That's the only way you can know your
That's
God
how you
is
know.
God.
Your God ain't God, partner.
See, everybody want to play this. Well, I know we all serve different gods, but we all have the same goal. Just no,
No, I don't.
Your God is false because he can't tell the future.
And he can't even tell you what's going on right now. He can't tell you what our God telling us in this book through these scriptures what's going on right now and what's going to be the end of that end. Now, present that and see it, like he said, see if you are God. You ain't no God. You a figment. Matter of fact, one of their lead teachers, Jabari, he said, well, it's all mythology. So you know it's a lie.
And you pushing it. It's a money scheme, bro.
Man, y'all going on with this mess, man.
It's all mythology.
That came out of his mouth. It's on tape. He ain't gonna be able to lie to it.
And then I'm gonna tell you something else too. A lot of these Egyptologists, they know who and who not to talk with on these subject matter. Because it's one brother in that community that a brother that I know from the STL a long time.
See what I'm talking about?
Long time. You know who it is. Sonetta. You know who you been.
Sonetta, he bring on all them other jokers. He'll bring on Sarah Suit and Sherry Amos. He'll bring on the other joker, Gabaji, whatever his name is. And look, bro, y'all,
They know who to bring
Sonetta,
that to.
holler at your boy.
They know who to bring that to.
And then, but hey, Cesaria asked you the same question I'm asking. What you gonna do with that Gab and New thing? Now, tell me I'm lying. Cesaria didn't ask you that. What you gonna do with that Gab and New thing? Go ahead and read, bro.
Okay. It says, behold. No, verse 23.
Yeah.
It says, show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Yea, do good or do evil, and we may be dismayed, and behold it together.
Yeah, we want to see this thing, but go ahead and read.
Behold, ye are nothing,
You nothing.
and your work of naught.
Your work is nothing.
In abomination is he that chooses.
So y'all, all y'all Egyptologists, y'all that chose these, y'all abomination to the Most High. Y'all abomination, man. No wonder you an abomination choosing that. Y'all got all that homosexuality going on. You choosing a homosexuality based belief system, a murderous based belief system. No righteousness in your judgment. You gonna take a baby just cause you got stricken with sword and pour their blood in your wound and they ain't done nothing. You an abomination. Go to the next place, man. Get on up out of here. Go to Isaiah 42, read that one verse, man. Go right on over to Isaiah 42, read that one. What do it say?
Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare.
And new thing, the former thing I told you that came to pass. And the new thing, I'm gonna declare the new thing too, partner. What Horace and all the rest of them sorry jokers that on that right there. Go ahead. Go ahead and read.
It says, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of.
I tell you of them before they even happen, partner. He said, behold, the plagues on the land, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Did he say that?
Yep.
Hey, man, ain't the plagues on the land now? Two tropical storms about to hit at the same time. Then he said gonna be earthquakes and diverse places and all these things going on.
Yep. Tennessee just got a warning for their first fire NATO ever.
See what I'm talking about?
A fire NATO.
See what I'm talking about? See what I'm saying? Now, I ain't heard Gab and Newt say nothing about this here.
So like,
Huh?
man, what? Daniel, the book of Daniel, man.
Come on, bro.
The kingdoms that were supposed to come.
That's what I'm saying. He done named them all in order in succession before they even came.
That's undeniable.
And not only names, he tell you which one gonna come back and try to get at the end.
Yep.
What Gab and Newt and Osiris and Horus and all them?
Where all
What
that?
is?
That's what we want to know.
What is? I ain't heard from.
Ask the Egyptologists, where did the Horus prophesy that our condition was gonna be like this?
Nowhere.
People.
Nowhere.
Don't none of them books talk about that, but our book.
Come on now. That's right, Howard Brown. They can fire for them.
Condition. They don't talk about the curses. They don't talk about why we in what we in.
Showed up. And like he said, where y'all gods, y'all prophets that predicted the fall of Egypt never to rise again.
That's all I'm saying. What was they prophecies predicting or telling that Ezekiel 29 and 15 when we read?
Come on, boss. Come on, man. Well, cause see, I'm naming that because you said some other day I was listening to you. Come on, we got prophets they never came to pass. Well, if they ain't came to pass, it must not be time for them. But all the ones
prophecies at all.
they ain't got none at all. The one that ain't came to pass, it ain't that time yet, partner.
I can't believe he said that.
Yeah, he said. I heard what he said.
But that's an ignorant Negro anyway.
He said. I heard what he said.
Very ignorant. Yes, you're very ignorant.
You talking about, bruh? Sirach the 42, man. Sirach the 42.
Boy.
Oh yeah. He said. Sirach the 42.
That's crazy. Y'all ain't got not one prophecy on record.
Now, I'm finna show you something else. Now, can y'all say that y'all God is from everlasting to everlasting? The one who was and is to come? Y'all God must be somewhere out there putting sperm in their mouth. That's the only thing I can know.
Yeah.
Sirach the 42. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Right.
Sirach the 42. We're gonna read verses 18 through 21. Then we got about 3 more after that.
Sirach 42, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
He seeketh out the deep and the heart and considereth their crafty devices.
That's right.
For Yahweh knoweth that all that may be known.
He know all that may be known, brother. Not some of it.
Yeah.
All that may be known. That's past, present, and future, ain't it? Yeah. Go ahead and read.
And he beholdeth the signs of the world.
Yes, sir.
He declareth the things that are past and for to come, and revealeth the steps of the hidden things.
See, you hear that? Now, I ain't heard Horton them declare no steps and no hidden things.
Nothing.
Go ahead and read, brother.
No thought escapeth him.
Mm-hmm.
Neither any word is hidden from him.
That's right.
He have garnished the excellent works of his wisdom.
Yes, sir.
He is from everlasting to everlasting.
Where your God at, man? Mm-hmm. He from everlasting to everlasting.
Yeah.
Gab and Newton right here running around here butt naked.
Yeah.
And ain't none of our God got the head of a jackal or the head of a falcon.
Right.
What is that God?
And then the body of a man.
Then the body of a man. That sounds like some jacked up stuff to me.
Oh man, what was them guys in when Hero need healing from their leprosy?
Thank you.
How come them wise men couldn't get no answer?
Right. How wise men ain't got no answer. Where we at, bro?
We at verse
21.
Yep.
Yeah.
He have garnished the excellent works.
Uh-huh.
Nah, I ain't read 20. No thought escapeth him, neither any word is hid from him.
That's right.
He have garnished the excellent works of his wisdom, and he is from everlasting to everlasting. Unto him may nothing be added, neither can be diminished. And he have no need of any count.
See, he don't need no count. Mm-hmm. He gotta ask nobody nothing. He gonna tell you what it is. That's just what it's gonna be.
Right.
Partner. Next place, man. Revelation 9 and 10. Because this for you non-Messianic. And once again, shout out to my boy Zion Lake. But Zion, I had to put this in here, bro. Now, I know you saying that he historical. You believe that he historical now. You on record on that now. But you say you ain't got to believe in his narrative. He said, I believe that he historical.
That he the son of God, basically. He
said, I believe it's too many things to say that he historical. Too many stories that make you got to say he historical.
I'm glad y'all finally admitting that.
He on record saying that.
Thank you.
But he said, I don't have to necessarily believe in his narrative.
That he's the son of God, basically.
Okay.
So you don't believe he's the son of God.
Read this Revelation 19 then, partner. I'm getting everybody today. I don't care if you cut the information off. The Most High put me on the path to get that. You hear me? Yeah. All I need was a footnote. You cut the information off now. I know how to get it now. Revelation 19 and 10, man. Look at what it says. What it say, brother?
It says, okay. And I fell at his feet to worship him.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto me, see thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant.
Yeah.
And of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yeshua.
He had a testimony of who?
Yeshua.
And what?
Worship Yah.
Worship Yah.
For the testimony of Yeshua is the spirit of prophecy.
In the spirit of prophecy, man. The testimony of the Messiah is the spirit of prophecy or the prophetic. What you mean? All Messiah, all the one we serve, he is the spirit of prophecy. He know all things, and all things were created by him and through him and for him. He know it all. Because the Father told it to him. Let's go to next to the last place. We're going to skip that Romans. We ain't going, well, let's go read it all. We got 3 more. Romans 11. Romans 11.
Torah scholar. Why are you a Torah scholar and you can't see Messiah?
Man, I'm calling everybody out. We calling everybody out. We don't, over here in the order of Melchizedek, we don't duck and dodge nobody, partner. Romans 11, 33 through 36, man. Romans 11.
Oh, the depth of the riches, both of wisdom and knowledge of Yah, how unsearchable are his judgments.
How unsearchable are his judgments, what?
And his ways past finding
out. You hear that? His ways is past finding out, bro. So how you don't know how he got all that law down through the ages, then got it written down on tablets all of a sudden. His ways past finding out. You can stop trying to figure this one out, bro. His ways is unsearchable, man. What are you saying? If y'all had them pictures on the wall,
who have known the mind of Yahweh,
who have known the mind of Yahweh,
or who have been his counselor,
yeah,
or who have first given to him, and it shall be recompensed unto him.
Come on, brother.
For of him and through him and to him all things are all things.
Are all things.
To whom be glory forever. Amen.
Amen. See, hey man, he don't need your help like y'all need help. Acts the 7. We all over the book. Acts 7 and 37. Israel is always, you see, that's another thing, man. Israel always trying to turn back to bondage. Always trying to turn back to Egypt, so to speak. 7 and 37, read 37 through 39 when you get it.
This is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your Yah raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me, him shall ye hear.
And you better listen to him. We just read about that he's the spirit of prophecy. You better listen to him because he got the prophecy. He got the mind. He knows what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what ain't going to happen. Go ahead and read.
A prophet shall, it says, if this is he, verse 38, this is he that was in the church in the wilderness, and the angel,
yes, sir,
which spake to him in the Mount Sinai.
That's right.
And with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
Now they received the lively oracle and gave to us. Where your lively oracles at? That meta, that 42 laws of my ain't no lively oracles, man.
Y'all can't even translate the meta. So
man, stop, man. And see, now, one of the things y'all got in there that when you standing before the throne of the broad down there, I think her name was Oris or whatever the name is, they got the feather.
Mhm.
That if your time on this earth and your mind ain't lighter than that feather, then you got to go to the bad place. I forgot what they call it. But he wrote, there is not one clean. No, not one. So how your mind gonna be lighter than a feather? I'm telling you, read it. It's crazy.
Idiots, boy.
Your mind and your works got to be lighter than a feather.
That's stupid. That sounds stupid.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. But that's why she got that feather in her head. Because when you go to the judgment seat in the underground, then your weight, your mind got to be weighed in this scale. And if your weight and your mind ain't lighter than that feather, then you go to the bad place. Now, I ain't read that in the book. Have you read that in the Bible?
Nah, I ain't read
okay.
like that. I ain't read about no judge.
No
being
feather.
in the underworld.
Yeah, and then a feather gonna be laid up there. Oh, hey, I got a whole lot of stuff I can tell you about this stuff. I've been studying them jokers, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Let's go to the last place, man. Did we finish that 39? No, read that 39.
To whom my fathers would not obey,
Uh-huh.
or thrust him from them, and in their hearts turn back into
In their mind, like I ought to turn back to Egypt, brothers and sisters. Come about that folly, that fallacy. Don't turn back to Egypt. Don't go back to bondage, the house of bondage. Come on back there, man. Last place, Joshua 24. Now, Joshua even knew that our fathers worship other gods on the other side of the flood. Mm-hmm. Now, if they ain't a kick in the butt for you right there, how Joshua know about that? He was paying down.
Yeah.
Joshua was at the moment. She'll give y'all some bullets to shoot at these jokers, man. Y'all ask them this. Joshua even said it, man. Joshua, the 24th, and we're going to pick it up at the 14. We're going to just read 2 verses of script, man. And then we out of here. 14 and 15, what do it say?
Now therefore fear Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and in truth.
Fear Yahweh only and serve him only in sincerity and truth. Go ahead and read.
Put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood.
You heard that? On the other side of the flood and in Egypt. Put them gods away from you, man. Mm-hmm. Get rid of that garbage. The meta and all that garbage. Get rid of it. Go ahead and read.
It says, your father served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and served ye Yahweh.
That's right.
And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh, choose you this day whom ye will serve.
That's right.
Whether the gods which your father served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. Mm-hmm. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh.
But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh. Yo, hey, wow, hey. That's the lesson. I thank you for your time. We hope you got some understanding in the name of our Messiah, Jesus the Christ, or Yeshua HaMashiach.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So, real quick, I know the sisters got a prayer Zoom meeting coming up here shortly. That's why I'm going to get all off here and let y'all have y'all time to get y'all stuff together and everything. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And anybody got any questions on any of this? You know, we free. We got the email stuff together now. And if you got any questions, just give us a holler. And we thank y'all for tuning in. And more to come later on all these other religions or whatever you want to call it. You got anything to say, bro?
Nah, man. Just stay focused, stay strong. You know what I'm saying? Prayer requests, hit me up, hit the email up.
Yep.
You got my line. You can hit me directly. You don't have to send it to the email. Shoot. Bible study during the week, y'all. You know, y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all ain't got nothing going. Just reach out and we can get it set it up on the StreamYard. Right. Or Zoom or whatever y'all want to do. It don't matter.
All praises.
That's how I like that.
All right. Want to thank the young man for coming by, helping me do this thing. And hey, like I say, we love y'all. Thank y'all for all the prayers and support. Y'all keep tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do whatever you gotta do to get this word out. Put it on your Facebook Live, watch party, do something. Do something to help us get this word out. And we will appreciate it very much so. But All praise, honor, and great glory is unto our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. Fold tribe, baby, fold up to it, close up.
Right.
I got the young lion in the building.
Shalom.
We're going to holler at y'all on the other side. Shalom. Enjoy the rest of y'all Sabbath. I got to cut it off right here. Got to end the broadcast.